All right. Howdy, everyone. Welcome to AIMBOT. Sorry, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so my voice is going to be a little bit weird. So I'm probably not going to talk much tonight. I'm going to leave that up to our excellent runner and commentator. One quick announcement before we go. GDQ 2023 online prize submissions are open from now until December 30th. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more info. And look forward to the marathon January 8th through the 15th. I'm super stoked. I'm super ready for it. But I know y'all are here for Halo, and I don't want to delay that too much. So, here to kick us off with Halo 3, Kronos Returns. Take it away.
Heyo everyone, I'm Kronos. I'm a Halo speedrunner for almost 4 years now. It's been a pretty long time. Primarily run Halo CE, but I've branched off into basically every other Halo game in the franchise, so yeah. Today I'm playing Halo 3 and ODST on Legendary. And with me I have Gelk, who is fantastic Halo 3 runner, better than me. And yeah, why don't you go ahead, Gelk?
Yeah, I'm Gelk. I exclusively play Halo 3 on the Legendary difficulty, so I can provide a fair bit of insight for you today.
Yeah, so I'll be getting started right here. So once the game loads in here, the timer should start. So in 3, 2, 1, and go.
First squad, you're my scouts. Move out, quiet as you can.
Yeah, so this is Halo 3 on Legendary. It's not regarded as one of the hardest Legendary games. It was pretty hard for me, but it is like every other Halo on Legendary. Legendary's just a pretty difficult game for any Halo.
Yeah, Legendary is the high space difficulty in the game. Of course, you can make it even more difficult by activating some skull modifiers, which take away your reticle and make enemies do more damage and take less and lots of things like that. But we're just going to play some vanilla Legendary, which is already hard enough. See Kronos doing some of the basic movement tech called slide jumping. If you conserve your vertical momentum into horizontal momentum with a crouch on a slope surface called a slide jump, and you're going to see a lot of it throughout the run. And he just did a very important jump there called the ghost jump. It skips a trigger that brings in a couple phantoms, which on Legendary will kill you almost every single time. So having the ability to walk through this section without them there is very helpful.
Yeah, and because it's Legendary, there's going to probably be quite a few deaths. It is pretty tough, so hopefully there won't be too many tonight. That's the goal, not to die. And yeah. Oh, whoops. There we go. I think that's correct, though. My bad.
And you see in the bottom right corner, there's some information, which is a setting we turn on called competitive scoring, which allows us to see if an enemy dies without like having them in our line of sight. So if we like throw a grenade behind a wall, we'll be able to know if they die by the score changing. So this is a pretty difficult section. There's some a fair amount of RNG to it. If you want some good jackal spawns, and unfortunately Kronos got noticed pretty early there, so this is kind of just a run through and pray kind of section.
Yeah, probably the most annoying section of the level. Okay, I think we got through, but it's not over yet. We still don't get a checkpoint until after this part, so hopefully I can live.
Yeah, this cave section can also be pretty scary. Two of the most scary parts of the mission are hit you back to back.
Unlucky. That jackal was out really early right there.
Do you use the in-game timer for like timing actual runs, or is it just for like ILs?
We use it for ILs, but the full game timer is timed with the summit feeder times, because starting with Halo 3, Bungie implemented the feeder mode, so we use that time for the final game time.
Okay.
that time I didn't get noticed. That was interesting.
Yeah, you even got the checkpoint too.
That was pretty interesting. And I got another one here. Cool.
Yeah, if you kill that last jackal at the exit, you're guaranteed a checkpoint for this section.
That is good to know. I actually didn't know that. Okay. But yeah. Got through that section. We should be pretty solid here.
Yep, yeah. And we're gonna play a bit of the floor is lava because Bungie implemented these. Well, you get to see it right here. So Bungie implemented some story moments into the game with Cortana, called Cortana moments, which slows down your movement speed to a crawl. So we try our best to avoid it. That trigger for that moment is very low to the floor, so we can actually avoid it by not touching the ground. But unfortunately, Kronos was just a little bit too low.
Yeah, just barely not enough movement speed to make it across the other rock.
Shout out to the greatest voice acting in all of gaming right here.
Yeah. I also didn't get a bubble shield, so this next part might be kind of scary as well. Had 2 chances, or 3 chances for one, but didn't get any.
Yeah, so Halo 3 introduced the concept of equipment, which have varying uses. What am I trying to say? Varying uses. So what Kronos was trying to get was a bubble shield, which is kind of self-explanatory. It's just a little deployable shield that blocks all incoming fire. Kind of looks like a bubble, so it's a bubble shield.
Yeah, so right here we're just killing all of these jackal snipers. Like, if you've heard of Halo 2 jackal snipers being really bad, Halo 3 pretty equally as difficult as their one-shot kills. So you have to be very careful about them.
So this is a fun little sequence break called gap jump. So normally you're supposed to just go down and all the way around here, but you can combine a frag grenade and a slide jump to go to the end of the section just to basically skip all of it. It could be pretty difficult without a bubble, but it looks like Kronos should be safe here. Let his shields recharge.
Yep.
It looks like Johnson's not there, so you might want to wait for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, Arby's there.
Hello, Arby.
So we actually have to wait for Johnson to deload here, because if you don't wait for him to actually deload into the next section, you soft locked if you trigger this cutscene without him in it.
Yeah, we should be good here, though. Now this is the dam fight. Pretty difficult section. Lots of enemies here, so we're just going to hopefully run through all of them without dying through this early part. And then we're going to have to kill a bunch of stuff at the ending.
Yeah, our goal right now is to free Johnson, because he technically got captured in the last section, but we just saw him deload. So we're just trying to run to his prison and free him as fast as we can, because the end of the mission is on a timer after you free him.
Yeah, right there. It was not a nice brute shot brute.
Yeah, this stair wave can be very annoying to deal with. Oh, you got some nice plasma pickups, though.
Yeah. I do not have any brute shot ammo, so...
You can throw a plasma grenade.
Yeah. Normally don't do that strat. Okay.
Yeah, so we take a safe route to the prison here. You can go straight to it and survive it maybe like 10% of the time, which people do in the IL, but it's a lot safer to just go behind and around through the window.
Roger that, Hocus. Friendly gunship.
Yeah, so now I'm just trying to find this chieftain and hopefully get him to die in a good spot. Okay, nice checkpoint.
A very nice checkpoint for the end of this mission.
Yeah. So I need him to actually come towards me or something.
Yeah, he's trolling a little bit.
To.
Normally he swings and enters the prison, but sometimes he just refuses to go into the prison.
Where are you going?
There he is.
Here we go. Yeah. And you want to do that to get a gravity hammer. He didn't drop an invince, which is interesting, or anything.
He might have popped it earlier.
Yeah.
I think he popped it when you were behind the prison.
Yeah.
So now we're just waiting for the end of the mission.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a spot.
Yeah, that jackal sniper can be very scary at this end of the mission. So we're waiting for our pelican to come and pick us up, and Kronos is going to be doing a trick called early pelican, because the mission will end once you're inside the pelican, and you can actually get inside it early by combining a frag grenade and a hammer swing.
Oh, that's a brilliant checkpoint. Especially because, okay, I didn't miss it, but that was kind of scary.
Nice. Solid Sierra.
Yeah. Not too bad. Got through it, that's what matters. Sierra is one of the tougher early game missions because of all the shenanigans of all the enemies there. And now we're headed to Crows. A very fun combat-oriented mission.
Point of entry, best assessment. Hangar, Sergeant.
Well, if you've ever
So
played a
just
Bungie
like-
Halo game,
yeah.
there's a common trope of running backwards through this mission, and you go forward and backwards in this mission probably about 4 times. So get used to this landscape.
Yeah, so here we're going to play pretty aggressively at the start. Might look pretty scary, but this is the best way to go through this hallway.
So this is a good
the-
example of the pack system in this game. So lots of times you'll see grunts surrounded by a single brute or like their leader, and if you kill that brute leader, the enemies around him will flee, and that gives you an opening just to run past them.
Yeah, now we're going to be stuck clearing this hangar for quite a while. Lots of enemies to come in and spawn, and we have to just clear them. I believe there's no way to really speed this up apart from just killing everything as they come.
Yeah, there's not even a way to speed it up. You're on a timer. This is basically an auto-scroller. So you just kill everything as they drop just to be safe, which adds a little bit more fun to it because otherwise you're just stuck here doing nothing. So there's going to be 3 waves of phantoms, going to be dropping some enemies. There's wave 1 dealt with pretty easily.
Yep, we're going to grab some battle rifle ammo through the wall right there. And we're going to just continue clearing each of these waves that drops in.
And if you ever played a Halo game, you know that the plasma pistol overcharge and a BR shot is a very useful combo.
Okay, that was bubble shield that pretty well placed.
Yeah, enemies can throw some very fun equipments in this game. So here's the final wave. So he's gonna kill these enemies as they drop, and on the last wave he's gonna start running backwards so he can make his way to the exit and clear out the hangar as he leaves to just optimally clear it.
I forgot to throw a grenade there. That's fine. Just gonna have to kill these jackals by hand.
Yep.
Here we go.
You can chance it and try to let your Marines kill them, but often that doesn't work. Marines are pretty useless in this section, but you saw him pick up deployable cover equipment. It's going to be useful for the next section coming up.
Feel free to start shooting.
Yeah, so we're just making our way back to where we started on the level. Gonna do a grenade boost here.
Best trick in the game.
That didn't work. Oh no.
I can get a little bit
It's
of an
all good.
extra boost by blowing up the truck.
Available combat teams respond.
Yep.
Anyone in the barracks, I need a sit rep.
And I missed that one too. But it's fine. Those are like I don't even know if they're a quarter of a second of time save.
So this is the drone section. So you're gonna see why we picked up the deployable cover. You can fire bullet weapons through it. A lot of people don't know it, but you can actually fire bullet weapons through it. So it makes this section really safe.
Yep, and we just have to kill literally every single bugger that's in this room. It's quite a lot.
We're good for now, Chief.
And that's it for that section.
Hook up a timer.
Now we're coming to a 4 out of 5 chance, 80% chance that I get through just safe. And then there's a 20% chance that I get a flare to drop from this chieftain, which is not what you want.
And you also see him
hopefully
punching
we
the
don't
air
get
here because we don't want a checkpoint in this room, because if he drops a flare and you get a checkpoint inside the room, he's always going to have that flare, so you're basically screwed. But if you delay your checkpoint and not get one, you can reload that section, so you can have another chance of getting an invisibility. Also, you're about to see why the gravity hammer is the most useful weapon in the speedrun. Physics.
Every time
Yeah,
I see
there's going
that,
to be
I love gravity
quite-
hammer boosting.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a lot of physics launches in this game.
And that hammer
Just like that
launch
one.
saved about 2.5 minutes. So
Yep,
that
just-
hammer launch is called
go.
barrack skip. It saves you from freeing your marine allies from the barracks, so they have an unfateful fate ahead of them.
Yeah, that was pretty clean, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that
those are some
entire
clean
section.
launches. So no, this section coming up is one of the most difficult combat sections in the run. It's called Jetpack Clear. There are 2 jetpack brutes on the floor, and there are 2 jetpack brutes that jetpack down from above. So once you kill 2 brutes, you spawn in a reinforcement wave, and once you take out the reinforcement wave, you spawn in another reinforcement wave that comes out of the door below. So we try to spawn kill these brutes, and once you spawn kill them, you drop down to the door below and try to spawn kill the other reinforcement wave.
Gonna play it safe here. Also, that brute was really hiding.
I think
Why
he's
are
still
you
alive
shooting
below
at?
you.
Yeah, he is. I think he died now.
Yeah, I think I heard him fall timer or hit the death plane. Nice stick.
Hello.
That was a pretty solid clear.
Yeah, it went well. It's pretty difficult, that section, so it's always nice to have no deaths there.
Go! I'll cover you.
And
Ah!
we picked up an active camo at the top there, and it's going to be very useful for this next section coming up.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of enemies in this next room, and it's pretty painful to get through without camo. So we're going to just use it right here. After this hammer launch, we just camo. Notice how there's 2 grunts on turrets, and then there's a huge grunt wave right there, along with some jackals up top with carbines. Not a fun section.
Yeah, but we could just camo right through it and ignore all of it. Now this is the bomb room, so we just go up to this pipe where the skull is and avoid being seen as long as possible and just jump down and hit the button and bail out.
Yeah, throw some grenades to make the brutes run away. That grunt threw a really inconvenient plasma, but
Yeah,
all
those
good.
grunt plasmas can be really scary, so good thing have any issues. Yep.
Ooh,
Now
clean.
Kronos is just running to the end of the mission, trying to do some movement optimizations through the Cortana moments. Now a
Yeah, you'll
funny looking
notice-
trick is coming up.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to shoot once at the bottom of the ramp. And hopefully get this butterfly to go well. Very nice.
Yes, we love to see it. So in Halo, when you melee an enemy, you lunge towards them, and you can cancel that melee with a reload. So Kronos fired a bullet there, so he's able to just constantly melee and cancel it and just attach himself to that drone. And if you've ever seen
I also got a
Halo
mini
2
cone launch too.
Oh, dude,
Oh.
cone launches are awesome. And if you ever seen a
Yeah, you
Halo 2
don't see
run,
many.
the butterflies are a lot more insane because you don't need to shoot a bullet and you can actually just make enemies fly. But in Halo 3, it's a lot more toned down.
Yeah, that was a super clean crow's nest.
That was pretty good.
Will become your home.
Yeah, sub 10 minutes. I'd take that any day on Ledge full game. Yep.
And
And now we're just going to head to Savo after this long cutscene-ish thing.
yeah, it's a 34-second elevator ride. Yep. So loading into Sabo Highway. It's the driving mission of the run.
RNG highway.
Oh yeah. It's called Savo Memeway My Splits.
What happened?
Yeah, this mission is pretty cruel. There's lots of enemies that can shoot you, and the Warthog in this game is pretty tough to drive, especially with enemies shooting at you, because the bullets actually affect the physics of the hog quite a lot. So you can get veered off course, especially by brute shots. You could just completely fly in the wrong direction. Same with brute choppers.
Yeah, even beam rifles can make you flip.
Yeah.
It's
Even
ridiculous.
just trying to splatter enemies, so
Yeah, and you
just
notice,
try to.
you notice he waited for Marines to get in the Warthog, not because you really want them for their damage output, but they're a really good damage sponges. It's going to make getting through some of these sections a lot easier.
Yeah, especially the one that's going to come up in just about 20 seconds or so. There's going to be like shade turrets everywhere, beam rifle jackals. It's a very scary section right there. So hopefully you don't die. It's very easy.
Yeah, this is a section you just have to drive through and hope nothing bad happens. There's no really other good way to do it.
Yeah, there are some like specific driving lines you can take. Also, I don't know. That was pretty unfortunate. But yeah, there are driving lines you can take to help lessen the amount of damage you take, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. Yeah, that one shade turret up front is actually dealing quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you have to angle yourself towards the beam rifle guy, and or he'll just snipe you out.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, good thing you can get a checkpoint there. That's pretty consistent, so it doesn't make it makes the section a lot less punishing if you die. So this
I
is the
actually
shielder
don't know
section.
why we get the new Warthog right here. I just
Well,
see
yeah.
a lot of people do it.
If you park your fresh or the old Warthog in a specific spot, you can actually get a checkpoint. Oh, you even got the early shield door break? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
His
it's
Warthog debris
pretty
actually
scary,
broke the
too.
shield door.
Yeah, it's very scary though because you don't have shields trying to get back into the hog.
Yeah, if he got a left side shade, you probably would have died, but luckily he got a right side shade. It's a 50-50 chance, and you want the shade on the right side because it's so much easier to survive.
Yeah, so that was pretty lucky, but very scary at the same time.
Yeah, in that last section, he picked up a gravity lift through that wall, and it allows us to skip this section because Bungie wanted you to go on foot, do a big wave fight here, and we just say no.
Instead, we just drive on, ignore all of these Marines. I think there's Marines in that area
Yeah.
which are supposed to help you fight.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a big holdout section wave fight, and there's just nothing stopping you from driving past it, which is pretty funny.
So now here we're just exchanging our vehicles to a chopper.
I got the Australian Marine dialogue. It's my favorite. Yeah, the chopper here is useful for just skipping this section and getting up this hill, because there are 2 wraiths on the hill, and a couple choppers and some shades, so taking this route, you don't have to deal with it.
Also, I'm surprised the choppers didn't shoot at me at all there. That's pretty interesting. Also,
Ooh, that's a really good
brilliant
ending checkpoint.
That is one of the best checkpoints you could get.
Yeah, the Sabo ending can be pretty tricky because you just kind of have to YOLO it. There's 3 criteria to end the section. You have to take out the shade turret, you have to take out the shield door, and you have to be close enough to hit the ending trigger. And Kronos hit all 3.
Yeah, clean salvo apart from that small middle section. So
That was good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This run's already going really brilliantly, so I'm pretty happy. But there's still the toughest levels coming up, so we'll have to see if it keeps going. Starting with Storm Mega Lol.
Yeah, this mission's famous, especially on easy, for just how many ways you can die, but it's not too terrible on legendary. It's fairly consistent. But it's still a very tough mission, and this is the first mission in the run where you're going to see carryover. You notice we took our weapons from the previous mission into this mission. Having a field rod in this mission makes it so much better.
So now here we're just going to be trying to kill enemies on our way. Also, I can't believe I took that much damage to a garrote somewhere. Oh boy. Oh. Okay, that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, so we had to hit that button to bring our Marines forward, then just hop back in our Warthog and get forward. Get going,
There we
but
go. Yeah, there was one grunt hiding in a weird spot there, so kind of weird to kill. Should be fine now. That forklift debris is weird.
so we just take the Warthog here and try to barrel through as many enemies as possible. Pretty safe. And we're actually on a timer for this door to open. We have to wait for that loading done to pop up before we can hit that button to load in the next section. And this is the first lake bed, which is a pretty difficult section, can be sometimes, but Kronos is on a quota here, so to end this section, he's gonna have to kill. Ooh, that's unlucky. Yeah, there's a ton of things that can kill you, but to end the section, you have to get as many enemies off task as you possibly can, and you have to have the AA Wraith and 1 Ghost dead. So once all those quotas are met, the section will end. So you want to be as fast as possible here. So if you linger on too far, a Phantom will bring in a Wraith, which will drastically increase the enemy quota. So you basically have to kill it to end the section.
Moving as fast as you can, sir. I know he'll get it done.
Oh boy, I'm getting shot a lot here.
That away, Chief. Target destroyed.
Yep, and there's the loading done, signifying that you can leave the section. Ooh, you killed 2
Hopefully I
Marines
get a
there. You
checkpoint.
might get aggro Marine if you kill the guy in second lake bed.
Yeah, just have to be careful.
Yeah, if you betray too many Marines, they'll turn on you and they'll kill you instantly.
They actually followed me.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's unlucky.
Well, that's rough. Just have to do this again. I didn't get a second checkpoint either, so have to do this again. Oh boy.
Hey, no Marine deaths this time, so you won't get aggro Marines. That's the plus side. You just didn't want the aggro Marines.
Yeah, there's my checkpoint. Didn't get one last time, but now I get it, and I didn't get shot this time at all. Just Halo things sometimes.
Flush him out, sir.
Halo's famous for the randomness of checkpoints.
Yeah, a lot of legendary speedrunning, especially for full game runs, is about managing how aggressive and how safe you play things at the same time. So sometimes you want to make the risky play, other times you want to just make the safe play. And it's all about balancing what you are able to do and just play as much as you can to your ability.
So this is the second lake bed section. It is a wave fight where 2 waves of 2 phantoms will bring in some ghosts, and there's already some AA race and choppers in the area. So you have to take out every vehicle at least. But you can speed up the section by taking out the second phantom, because the second wave will come in once that phantom is deloaded or it's dead. And you can end the section faster by killing it twice. But most of the time, people take the first wave safely and try to go fast on the second wave. All the enemies and vehicles are already cleared out, so you can take the second wave a lot more aggressive. So Kronos fires a pre-fire rocket here, and then he's just gonna spam some missile pod shots at the second phantom.
Why is it locked on the Banshee?
Yeah, the missile pod can do some meme targeting.
I don't think that's gonna kill. It's fine. I'll just wait it out.
Yeah, it's a lot better to play it safe here. Because even if you do get that second phantom kill, you're at risk of soft locking this section because the gunners inside the phantoms. That's why we wait for a checkpoint there, by the way. But if the gunners of that phantom survive and they hide, you soft lock the section.
Yeah, they could. The phantom could die, and the grunt lands on top of the roof, and you can't really kill them from there. So that is not fun.
So Kronos took his mongoose through an elastic barrier there. So there's a barrier there that blocks vehicles from going through, but only if you're on it. So he just got off it and took his mongoose through. And if you ever played this game before, the big giant Covenant tank spider thing, the Scarab, spawned in. That was supposed to be our first time fighting it. But Kronos was able to just clip through that door with a mongoose. And it deloaded the previous section, and that counts as killing the Scarab. You had to wait for the Scarab to actually load in, because if you proceed without the Scarab loading in, you soft lock too. So there's a lot of opportunities to soft lock in this mission. So this is the warehouse section. It's another really scary part of the mission. There's a ton of brutes, and you just have to try and nade and rocket them and run by and hope you get a bubble shield.
Okay. Should be fine this time around, hopefully. Last time, brutes were being weird. Okay, these brutes are also being weird, but there's a bubble shield helping me. Oh, hello.
Attack proceeds as planned, Commander. We're not going to get another shot at truth.
I didn't get a checkpoint there, so that's a bit unfortunate, and I should be fine though.
Yeah, this is the ending of Storm, so he's gonna take the sniper here, take out the chieftain, and rocket his friends next to him, and just run past all the other guys and try to run to the end. Oh, he got the invents. That's actually pretty lucky, because the invents deloads really often on the Master Chief Collection. Yep, so he popped his invincibility right here and makes this ending really safe. And to end the mission, all you have to do is destroy the AA gun, and we can do it from a range with 2 sniper shots and a long-range plasma pistol shot.
Chief, Hood ships are closing fast. Destroy that gun. We're out of time.
Okay, clean ending. Too bad about the start of Storm. But we're getting through this.
Yeah, moving on to Floodgate. It's a really fun mission. A lot of movement, fun going on. Get a full gravity hammer at the start of the mission. There's tons of boxes to launch off of, and you're going to see the first deployable cover launch of the run. Probably the only deployable cover launch of the run.
Yeah. On easy, there's quite a lot more, but on legendary, they're a bit too risky to save time and stuff. Legendary's already pretty hard on its own.
Okay, so he threw a frag at that box to line up here for another box launch here.
Okay, that
Nice.
works.
Even with that setup, he still saved 3 seconds to walking.
Yeah, lots of box launching here with the gravity hammer.
Yeah, it's just
Have
back
to
to
kind
back
of
to
do
back.
them pretty, like, there's a specific way you have to do them. You have to like walk into the box, you have to aim a certain direction and walk into it before swinging. Lots of small things.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance to hammer launching. You can vary your power quite a bit on how you want your launch. So here's another Flores Cortana moment here.
Well, I should really do the grenade one, but I actually forgot how to do it.
It's okay, this is more swag method, and we want to see the swag in a marathon run.
There we go.
Yeah, if you blink, you'll miss 3 box launches.
Now here's
So-
the DC launch.
Yep, so
Tell humans and take heed.
you can get trapped inside of a deployable cover here, and to deal with that, Bungie want you to just get pushed out, but you can maximize your force velocity coming out of the DC by crouching and moving pretty slowly. So, what? And it can be pretty finicky sometimes.
Yay.
Clear this sector while we deal with the flood.
There we
It's
go.
also really easy to splatter too, but you can see how ridiculously powerful they are. And it's also worth noting that Kronos is playing on the Master Chief Collection version of the game, which has a 60 hertz tick rate versus the 30 hertz tick rate that the original version of the game, and a side effect of that is making the deployable cover launches a lot more powerful on MCC. It makes them powerful enough to actually clip through walls. You're not going to see any clips on the legendary run, but if you take a look at the easy world record, there's a lot of clips involved.
I also got a really sick checkpoint, so I can do this without too much worry.
So, call that pizza jump. That's another thing about the Master Chief Collection versus the original version of the game. You can jump off of trip mines. You couldn't do that in the original version of the game. So that allows us to do that chasm launch with the trip mine instead. Because we used to have to use a deployable cover there. I still like to use a deployable cover there, but a lot of people like to do that pizza jump.
Yeah, the pizza jump is a lot safer, for sure. It's a lot easier to set up, in my opinion. But people have their preferences, and I think the DC launch is slightly faster.
Yeah, the DC launch
Things
can
like
get
that.
you right to the hole you're supposed to go down. But yeah, there's Floodgate, the shortest mission, but and the most movement-packed mission.
Yeah, very clean floodgate, all things considered.
And now the run is really going to begin.
Yeah, this is the halfway point of the run, but it's really the next 2 missions that are probably the most dangerous in the run. Very
Yep.
scary.
This mission, the Arc, is probably the most difficult to execute. There's so much combat, there's so much you need to do right, and any small mistake can get you killed.
Zone for the commander's frigate. Keep your eyes and ears
Yeah, it's very unforgiving as well. There's not too many checkpoints that you can use for safety. So, have to kind of just try not to die. It's the plan.
Yeah, we start off this mission
try
with
to-
a full sniper. We're going to be carrying that a decent way through the mission. So this first section can be pretty scary. He's going to run up and try to set up a collateral on these 2 brutes and try to pick up his brute shot on the way out. Nice, got through it cleanly.
Scary.
So this next section, there's a bunch of enemies at this AA gun, and if you play this game casually, you'll know that a reinforcement wave with hunters comes up, but we're able to just skip the section entirely by combining a frag and a brute shot jump.
Oh, he nearly killed me with his brute shot.
Yeah, there's a chance that enemies can fire their weapons on death, and it's not uncommon for people to get killed by their death shots.
Okay. It's already really good so far. That beginning section is extremely difficult. You can die quite easily there. So I'm pretty happy we got through that part first try. There's still quite a lot to go though. The next two sections are pretty scary.
Yeah. The worst is yet to come, and a couple prowlers came over that hill. We just chill behind this rock and wait for them to pass, and we can just drive on past them without any fear.
Okay, nice landing. We didn't get hit by a chopper, so we should be able to take this ghost and not die. Nice.
We ditch the mongoose for the ghost here, because this ghost has some really good hill riding abilities that you're going to see here.
Yeah, so normally when you go through this section, there's a lot of enemies that are supposed to spawn in beneath. Okay,
Oh.
Let me retry that. I mean, you could technically just do it from the bottom, but I'd rather not. But yeah, by climbing over this hill on the right, we skip a wave of enemies that spawn in through this section. So we can just drive on ahead here and safely snipe these enemies in this section.
Alright, yeah, this is Dawn Clear. This is what I think is the most difficult section of the run. So we set up a couple rocket shots to kill a wave of enemies down below and the turret grunt back there. And then we had to beeline it towards the Wraith firing mortars at you. And there's 2 AA Wraiths that you had to kill in this section. And there are 4 brutes that are spawned to the left of Kronos right now that he's going to have to try and snipe as he walks towards the AA Wraiths. And there are a couple ghosts that are going to be trying to kill him too. And they are the most scary things in this section, because you want to kill them but not blow them up, because you're going to need a ghost for the next section coming up. And the brutes over here can get in these ghosts, and ghosts do a ridiculous amount of damage. They kill you in like 3 bullets. And the section will end once the AA Wraiths are down and there's only 1 enemy alive. So all the enemies are dead, and Kronos just has to take out the AA Wraiths, and the section will end.
Yeah, nice Dawn Claire. Played it safe. I'm going to grab one of these ghosts first.
That was very smart. Because if you notice, his last checkpoint was on that hill ride, so it's a really lengthy rebirth if you die. That's another aspect of why this section is so difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the scariest sections of the run. And now we're coming to another cool trick here.
Yeah, it's called Out of Bounds Tankless. It's called that because we don't take the tank. Very creative. So if you ever play this game casually, you know that a couple tanks spawn in here. But we're not going to be taking them. Yeah, you didn't get past the barrier. We actually need the... So to get out of bounds with this ghost, we have to use the Gust of the Dawn to push Kronos out of an invisible barrier. But that's not all. He has to get his ghost out of another elastic barrier like you saw in Storm. Because if he gets in his ghost too early, it'll slingshot him back inbounds.
Okay, there we go.
Yep. So he has to get over this little ridge here to get over the first elastic barrier. Then he's going to use some brute shots to knock his ghost further out of bounds to get past the second elastic barrier. And it's tricky not blowing up your ghost in this process.
Thanks, Chief. Wouldn't last you much longer up there. Come to the back of the frigate. Johnson, have the elites found anything?
That should be good. Oh.
Okay. Oh, it is good. Nice checkpoint.
I've got a plan.
Ghost has basically no health now, but it doesn't need any health where we're going,
Take one of the tanks. Lead the
so
way.
we are good.
Find any locked doors?
So if you're waiting for the tank beats everything line, sorry, you're not going to hear it.
I am unfamiliar with this facility.
Now we're going to drop off this cliff pretty slowly. Don't want to call timer.
Oh yeah, that's another thing worth mentioning. Yeah, there wasn't a fall timer in CE, but starting in Halo 2, they introduced this concept of the fall timer, which really isn't a timer, but if you hit a certain velocity on the Z-axis, the game will just kill you.
Not enough boost there.
And a consequence of not having the tank in this section, it makes this section a lot more difficult. So this is the spark door section. There are a couple wraiths and a bunch of ghosts and a couple choppers that need to die. Well, not need to die, but killing them speeds it up. But the only things that need to die are the wraiths and the shade turrets at the end.
Also, I missed a somewhat easy jump right there twice. Hopefully I don't mess it up this time. Here we go. No, it's still
Unlucky.
missing.
He's combining a slide jump with a brute shot there to get to the end of the section. That because a phantom's going to bring down another wraith, and he's going to try and spawn kill with his field rod gun as it comes down.
And this, in my opinion, is the hardest section. Also, I missed that jump 4 times now. That is kind of embarrassing. It's not that difficult. I'm just whiffing it. Okay. Come on. Just need to jump like that. Here we go.
Yeah, so he's gonna line up some field rod shots here to take out this phantom. Takes about 5 field rod shots to take it out on the engine. And if you kill it early enough, it'll take the wraith out with it. And there's a chopper here, so we just gotta yoink that and go straight to the wraiths and take those out. And luckily this gunner, his AI breaks once he boosts towards him a lot of the time, so it makes boarding this wraith pretty free.
Oh, cool. Nice wraith. Didn't shoot at me yet. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't be mean. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, this section is also really scary on Legendary because Wraith Mortars kill you in one shot, even if you're inside a Wraith, so it's super scary sometimes. And he's gonna try to take out another vehicle here just to speed it up a little bit more. It's not necessary, but the more ground enemies you kill here, the faster the door will open, but a bit diminishing returns.
Yeah, I just tried to kill whatever I can here just so they don't come up the hill and kill me.
It's generally pretty
Generally
safe.
they don't, but
Yeah.
I had one time where a ghost came all the way up to the top and shot me from here. That was not fun. We're good now. Just checking my nades and stuff.
Yep, and we just have to
Have
wait
a
for
bubble
Spark to open
shield.
this door now.
Yeah, so coming up next is also a very cool trick, the Scarab board. So, also a pretty difficult trick sometimes, depending on what the enemies decide to do. But we will see.
Another common Halo trope of taking vehicles where they don't belong. Luckily, the chopper is just slim enough to fit through these doors.
Good work, Chief. Link up with our armor on the far side of the wall.
So we're going to have to make sure we drive very carefully here, because every, part of this driving is pretty precise in a way. If you are too slow to get to the Scarab, you won't be in time to board it, so you have to be pretty precise.
Yeah, you also don't
But
want to be
there
too
is
fast
some
either.
leeway.
because
Yeah, if you're
the
too
Phantom,
fast,
the Phantom at the beginning of this section will shoot you with this turret. That's why I started doing a strat where I take out his turret before coming down in this section. Makes it a lot safer.
It is a pretty decent idea.
So he's using a visual indicator on the radar to see as the Scarab passes over it and combines a frag with a field rod shot to board it as soon as it lands. So he couldn't kill it instantly. You have to wait for the Scarab to finish its landing animation before you can deal damage to it. So board it, wait for a little bit, and take it out.
Yeah, and I also used a bubble shield over there just to make sure I don't die to stray shots from, for instance, the Wraith or the Phantom turret. It's pretty nice of a buffer there. And now we're just driving a bit back up here.
The bubble is really useful for making that safe, but can make the indoor section a little more difficult with the bubble. So hopefully he gets another bubble from the enemies inside.
Yeah, so we're just casually driving this. Yep. Up to the roof. Just, you know, Halo things.
Yeah. You might think, like, wouldn't this lose a bunch of time? No, he's not actually losing any time. We have to wait for the Pelican to come down anyway, so taking the safe route around instead of going up the ramp is the much more advisable option.
I actually never accidentally fell past that wall there before. I was kind of scared. Oh, good though. Oh, didn't get a carbine or beam rifle. Kind of scared to get that one, so I'm just going to wait for this guy.
Nice of you to join us.
So he's gonna murder his friend here because we don't like him? No, because killing him actually gives a bit of dialogue, which saves 7 seconds. Because there's a bit of dialogue between Spark and that Marine, and if you kill him, the dialogue won't happen and the door will open faster.
Okay, so if this guy gives me a bubble shield, that would be great. I did not get one. That's fine though.
A fun little Easter egg about the King Brew.
Okay, if we don't get spotted here, I believe we get a checkpoint in this section.
The bomb
which is very nice to have.
Yeah, especially with no bubble. This room can be a nightmare sometimes.
He dodged into me and killed me with my own spike grenade. It's unfortunate.
And so we just try and run past and fuel rod as fast as we can. It's good the enemies were staggered, so they just ignored him as he walked by. That's really good. But now we have to go back to that room. And the second time is arguably more scary.
Yep. Next time, we have a bunch of jackals and grunts, so let's hope for the best here.
And
oh, that's not good. Ah, no, just barely not in time.
It's super scary because you see there's 2 Mauler brutes, which they one-shot you, and there's a chieftain with a plasma cannon, which might as well one-shot you because that fire rate is so high. So we just try to run past them.
No.
I will help you, Sergeant, clear the sky.
Unfortunate.
And so we try and kill the Mauler brutes.
Also getting EMP'd everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
getting EMP'd
like
is super unlucky.
Oh. Okay, here we go.
So a lot of times we try
what is that?
a lot of runners like
to
melee the chieftain to stagger him, and it makes it a lot easier to run past. Yeah, you see that one-shotting power of the Mauler?
Very fun. It's fine, we're not losing that much time, even though we're dying quite a lot here. Just because we got a really good checkpoint there as well.
Yep, and now we're to the camo room. There are 4 camo brutes we have to kill. which they don't have shields, so they're pretty easy to kill. That's why I pick up the Sentinel Beam. And now this ending is a really cool fight, which they scripted it, where the brutes will watch you 1v1 the chieftain. But since they do that, we take advantage of them and just kill them all before we kill the chieftain. And we take out the chieftain and end the mission.
What is that? He didn't do the second lunge.
Yeah, that was an interesting second attack.
Yeah, sometimes AI doesn't do what you expect it to, and it can be pretty annoying. Do
And
your
we tried to
second
bait
lunge
out.
properly. There we go.
That's the attack we tried to bait out because it always results in a one-hit back smack. And then once the chieftain's dead, a couple jackals will spawn in, and once they are dead, the mission will end.
Quick, stand by for pickup.
Okay.
So the first beast of a mission is down. Now it's time for the second beast of a mission.
Yeah. Arc is very tough of a mission for sure. But now it's Cubby, which is arguably just as difficult. So we will see what happens.
Yeah, this mission is difficult because it's easier to execute, but there's more randomness involved. So drops in with a Spartan laser on the beach, and we're going to be doing a fun trick here. So we're running across the beach, and it's going to fire a Spartan laser at the AA Wraith and make sure not to kill it in the process. And if you played this game before, you know that once you kill the driver of an AA Wraith, it will just explode because Bungie didn't want you to drive the AA Wraith. But there's a trick we can do to actually make the AA Wraith drivable, and that involves EMPing the Wraith and killing the driver and entering the Wraith on the same frame. So you can buffer the enter the vehicle input and kill the driver at the same time, and that will get you inside the AA Wraith.
Yep, that was nice getting it first try there. Sometimes enemies can be very rough. The chieftain, for instance, can throw a power drain. That's not fun to deal with because your shields would be down the entire time, so anything can like one-shot you. Stuff like that can happen.
So it's technically faster to clear the beach and kill all the enemies on it, but it's a lot more consistent to grab this AA Wraith, and it doesn't lose hardly any time compared to clearing the beach.
Hold position. I'm on my way.
Yeah, clearing the beach, you have to do so many multi-kills and stuff. You have to kill specific numbers of enemies to force the next wave to spawn so you can insta-kill the next wave. Things like that. Also, this ghost is pretty damaged now. Accidentally hit it with a Wraith shot. Hopefully that's fine.
Should be good. So this first tower entrance can be pretty scary because we just go in and YOLO it and try to splatter enemies and toss a bubble and hopefully we don't die. And it looks like Kronos got in first try pretty easy.
Yeah, the other day I was practicing, the ghost was flipping over every single enemy like 5 times in a row. That was not fun.
Yeah, it's really hard to not flip there. There's a lot of X games that can happen there. So, and you notice that this last checkpoint was getting in the ghost, so it's another reason this section's super scary. But going to the top of the first tower, you have to clear out all the brutes up here. There's going to be 4 brutes and a chieftain. But we grab a power drain at the bottom of the tower, and that makes this section a lot safer.
Okay, that bubble shield really screwed me over. I'm going to just wait it out here. Okay. You're a very scary chieftain.
Yeah, they can be super scary. Ooh, that's a good hammer. So, the hammers in this game can vary with ammo. Can either have a range of 50 to a 90 hammer. So you can get 8 more swings just off of RNG. And
Yeah.
Kronos also got invincibility here again, which makes the exit of this tower a lot easier too.
Yeah, we're just going to activate it once we get out of this elevator here and just basically walk through all these enemies. You can see there's quite a lot of them, but yeah, no big deal.
And it times out perfectly to pick up this camo, which we're going to hold for pretty much the entire mission and use it at the very end.
Get in, sir.
And we're going to grab this warthog and make our way back to the beach. Hopefully the Marines don't drive in the way. Very common for a Mongoose Marine right here to just drive in your path. Oh, he tried it.
Yeah, he can flip you pretty easily. Sometimes he's squished on the ground, which can look pretty funny. And driving a Warthog downhill is the fastest vehicle in the game.
Yeah. Going to go drive all the way down, get this Hornet.
After the first flying section of the game. So he's going to fly this Hornet diagonally because it is 20% faster to fly diagonally. And something we didn't mention is the same applies to when you're holding, when you detach a turret or missile pod or in a Cortana or Grave Mine moment, you're 20% faster while moving diagonally.
Yep, that's why you'll see a lot of weird look angles, for instance, for people in those moments and stuff.
Taking some Banshee fire here, but it should be safe. Hugging the side of this mountain
Hi,
is
Rafe.
pretty safe.
That Rafe fell.
Pretty funny. I've actually never seen it, or at least never noticed it.
It's been falling like every single time for me recently. I didn't think it did before, but now it always does.
Might be a current patch thing. A lot of variants with it. Since this is the Master Chief Collection, they're still actively patching it, and there's a lot of unintended consequences when they patch stuff in multiplayer. Sometimes it breaks things in the campaign. So this is the third tower entrance. Kronos picked up a brute shot there to kill that wave of drones that comes down. Once you kill 8 of them, they just leave you alone, but it looks like he just destroyed all of them.
So now there's a bunch of camo brutes here we're going to try to kill before they start moving a lot. Nice.
And if you kill them fast enough, you can break this Chieftain's AI. Now he's just gonna try to stagger him and backsmack him, or just headshot him. That works too. And now the Flutter in the mission.
Oh, I didn't want to use that frag. I think it's fine though.
That should be good. Got plenty of other nades.
Okay, this guy's also firing at me still.
Now we're coming up on what is a really scary part of the mission, the third tower exit, where you just do a box launch and hope you don't die.
Yeah, there's a lot of enemies at this exit. Probably the... Oh, yeah. That happens.
Yeah, you also have to do that box launch in a specific way where you won't splatter, which is an element of difficulty in itself.
Yeah, might just avoid it this time around. I'll do it if I get a checkpoint, but
yeah, you sometimes it's get a checkpoint on this elevator, but yeah, it's pretty inconsistent. You can guarantee it by killing all the flood at the top, but kind of slow doing that, so usually we just take our chances with not getting it. Yeah, there's a bunch of flood on this exit. Just trying to punch them.
There's so many. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is what makes this section so difficult. There's just so many things that can kill you. And once you get out of the tower, you're not even out of the woods yet. There's a bunch of brutes. The brutes that you didn't kill earlier, they're still there. And there's a chieftain there with a field rod gun. And he'll one-shot you. So you have to get past that after you get out of the tower.
Here's my checkpoint.
Nice.
Whoa, that guy is that guy is strong. He took 2 Mauler shots and didn't die.
Sometimes the Flood can just be absolute units and just tank all your bullets.
Contain this outbreak?
No. First, we stop the troop. Then we deal with the flood.
Oh,
there's
that's
a
field
PRI guy.
route brute.
So, there's
thank you,
Arby was in a
Arby.
perfect spot to one-shot him.
Arby, you're my savior.
Yeah, so Cronus lucked out
Saving
pretty
the run.
well there with Arby being there because there was a bunch of enemies in his way, but Arby, his pal, cleared the way for him.
Take down troop.
He knows it's a marathon run. He's tried to save me.
Accelerate his plans. Punch through the cliffs. Get inside that citadel.
Yeah, Arby
Oh, okay.
is a super useful AI in this game. He actually does a really good job at killing things for you. But sometimes he can troll you, but most of the time we like Arby.
Citadel in sight.
So now here we're going to do some driving out of bounds here slightly. We're going to drive into this mountain to the right to just avoid, I think, 2 ghosts and a wraith that are generally on the other side. So that is great. Also don't want to fall timer here as well.
Yep, you have to make sure to
Didn't
slow
go
down
too
that
fast
ramp.
sometimes.
Hornets inbound.
How many scarabs are in this section? I can't remember.
That's 1. That's 2.
Yeah, so this is the 2 scarab section, which Cronus will land on the nose of the first scarab and going to the core to take it out. So unlike the scarabs, all the other scarabs in the game that are invincible once they finish it, until they finish their landing animation. You can kill these ones before they finish their landing animations, but it like blinks in and out of existence and will send you flying. Oh, that's unfortunate.
It fell.
Yeah. Normally the Hornet doesn't fall off, but sometimes it can. But yeah, if you ever see a clip of someone killing this scarab too early, you just get sent absolutely flying at the highest velocity that anyone's ever seen. Ooh, that was a sick save.
Yeah, I could probably show it if I want, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no harm trying if I die. Oh,
Yeah, the easy
that
runners
was
will
confusing.
take the scarabs out in a Hornet, so you get to see them blink in and out of existence. Ooh.
I
See, that's
slid
what's hard
off.
about this section is landing on top of the second scarab. The first scarab isn't too bad, but the second scarab is what makes this section a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, since I think we're pretty good on time right now, I could show off what you mean by the launching of the scarab if you kill it too early.
Yep.
That happens. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, some trick jumpers try to do what we call scarab to scarab and try to go for kill that first scarab early and land on the second scarab.
I don't know if it...
Obviously not a good
fell
idea for
off
the
again.
speed run. Not very consistent.
Okay, it's still on. It's good.
Yeah, well, what you also don't see is all the ghosts and banshees that are trying to kill you when you're trying to get to this second scarab.
Oh, okay. The pelican really messed me up there.
Yeah, the pelican can turn you around and troll you as well. There's just a bunch of things that control you here. It's a very difficult section, but it's not as bad as it was on the original version of the game because we had to do a weird strat to board the side of the first scarab. And that made this section so much more difficult. It was just basically the run killer section every time you got here on the original version of the game. So at least on the Master Chief Collection, it's a bit more consistent.
Still difficult, but
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
Oh no, that's so unlucky.
That is really unlucky.
Yeah, sometimes if you hit the scarab at just the right angle, you just splatter on top of it.
Because that was a perfect landing. That was actually like what you want, but I actually died to geometry. Oh. That time I didn't land on the scarab properly, so the scarab raises up right after you land on it. So if you're falling at the same time it's rising, it will splatter you.
I count 2 scarabs. Repeat, 2 scarabs.
This time is it. I can feel it.
Yeah. I mean, I should have had it the other time, but I don't know. That was pretty unlucky.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fun things that can happen trying to get on the second scarab. You can land on its leg, and if it's turning, it'll just shoot you 500 feet in the air. That's happened to me a few times. Pretty funny when that happens. Not funny when you lose a run to it, but it looks pretty funny. All right, there it is. Oh, the Gosshog is kind of trolling, so...
Yeah. That's why I throw my hog off the edge, just so I can have a backup.
Both scarabs down. Well
Slightly slow, but it's a lot safer. Plus, you get a checkpoint now from that.
So, remember how we killed that Marine on Arc for a dialogue skip? Well, RB is about to come to the same fate, so... Bridge will activate once RB finishes dialogue, but if you kill him, the bridge activates is when he dies.
It's okay, he just comes back to life. It's all good.
That's another elastic barrier to hop out and get your vehicle through, just to save a little bit of time. And this allows us to overlap this Cortana moment with a cutscene, which kind of sucks for setting up this box launch, but good to save a little bit of time. But this is Citadel launch is probably the most difficult yet most useful box launch in the game. It just saves so much time, but there's so many ways to mess it up and so many things that can kill you in the process.
Yeah, probably one of the scariest tricks for sure.
You can't go too high or else you'll miss a trigger, and you can't go too low or you'll splatter. Oh no! Oh, he almost saved it.
I almost saved it. It was really close.
Yeah, and this is what we saved our camo here for. It's just that once you complete it, you can just camo past everything. Yeah, but you need to hit just the right angle, and you have to have good redirect hammering as well.
Yeah, this is where we use our camo because there are quite a lot of enemies. Also, I didn't get the door. That's not good. Okay, this is bad.
You can jump on top of it and go over it, but you won't have the redirect hammer. But you also won't, if you do this, you won't be able to hit the button. You have to jump over the bridge to hit the cutscene.
Yeah. I also won't have extra hammer ammo, but it's pretty minor.
Yeah, you have enough for the end of the mission. You don't really need any for Cortana, but it's nice to have, but not absolutely necessary. So he has 4 swings left, so it's just enough to finish the mission.
Just gonna walk this a bit. Once he's the hammer
be disappointed.
I'm sorry, Mib. No Mib special.
Shouts to the Mibulus with this trick that saves a second. So the Citadel return is my favorite part of the run. There's just a ton of box launches.
There is a
I don't know how that. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's a really good return launch. Oh!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Nearly dying there, but you're actually invincible inside of Cortana moment. So good thing he hit that Cortana moment when he did, because if he got hit by one more popcorn, you probably would have died.
Yeah, good thing I saved the hammer swing, because I don't think I would have made it in time if I didn't swing right there. That was scary. Oh boy. But we're good.
This is the end of the Covenant. So this is another mission where we carry over to, but We usually have a lot more hammer ammo when we kill the chieftain, but it's not gonna be a big a deal. But can be helpful because in this mission there is a bunch of Cortana and Grave Mine moments, which is super annoying. This is why it's my least favorite mission of the run. And we do our best to try and skip as many moments as we can by actually overlapping them. There's a lot of sections where they're overlappable because you can do some movement tech to trigger a second moment on top of the first moment. And once the first moment finishes, it'll cancel out the second moment.
Yeah, it is also one of the scariest missions because of the lack of checkpoints in the second half. So hopefully I can get through that ending pretty cleanly.
Yeah, bringing back bad memories of when I ran this for a GDQ HotFix last year when I had to quit out of the reactor room because I had such a bad RNG.
Yeah, it does happen. It is very unforgiving of a game sometimes, so things happen. Yep, just another grave mine moment here, moving diagonally. Not much else we can do. If you're playing on easy, you can use a DC to do a DC launch here and try to combine that moment with this one that's coming up right here. Saves about 15 seconds, I want to say. I don't know how much it does.
Not sure on the exact number, but yeah, it's also a legendary IL strat. It's just getting the DC is super risky on legendary.
Yeah, you have to like run into the center of the room where I walked in before, and that is not fun sometimes. Also, I nearly forgot to grab that DC.
Yeah, this DC's pretty important than exchanging for a fresh hammer and sword. He's gonna toss this DC down this hole here.
Well, I don't know if that's gonna work.
I think it should be fine as long as you're like on the front edge of it. But yeah, we're gonna be running back through this section later in the mission, and that DC is going to allow us to jump back up to that hole because on the return, it blocks that path off and wants you to take another way. But going back up the hole saves a decent bit of time, so we drop that DC there for later. So this
what is that?
Segmented boost. Yeah,
Segmented.
So the Puriform Flood, the ones that look like spiders, have an attack where they just ram into you like with a little headbutt, and that's what happened there. It gave Kronos a pretty good boost.
Saved time to Segmented. Let's go.
Segmented does a fun panel launch through that section. So.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
But probably still save time
really
to normal.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, so this room we call Hell Room because it is an absolute nightmare.
Ah!
You see, he's dead instantly, just trying to get to the camo. So we had to get to the top of this room, and getting to the top of this room is very much easier said than done.
Oh.
So this is the safe strat of picking up the camo and using a hammer to get up. If you're trying to go fast, a lot of runners will combine a spike grenade with the brute shot jump, but that can be pretty risky sometimes if you get a bad seed.
And just take things a lot safer, a lot easier to do that way.
And more Cortana grave my moments. I bet you're sick of these. And going through and playing this mission hundreds of times is no better. So this is a really fun launch called the Reactor Room launch, combining a plasma grenade with to re-angle the box and doing a box launch off it allows us to just hammer launch to the end of the section. And doing some more hallway hammering to optimize his movement through the moment to get another moment overlap.
Nice. I was kind of worried I wouldn't get it there, but it worked out.
And we free our blue friend.
There's 2 of us in here now.
And
Now
now
here's
we're
the
on the
toughest
return.
part.
Yeah,
This
is
is
one of the
real
scariest
hell
parts of the
room.
run. Like, if you're on a PB or record pace, you're just sweating through this section because this checkpoint coming up is going to be the only checkpoint you're going to be seeing for possibly the rest of the mission.
Yep. It is not nice to you, so we're just delaying our checkpoint just before this door.
We need to buy some time.
And now we're just going to hope for the best here.
Yeah, you just try to fight back as much as you can. You can stagger the pure form floods that are in their turret mode by shooting them with a brute shot, so that's pretty helpful for this section. And we just take out the reactors and chill in our safety bubble until it's time to leave.
Okay, I'm actually not getting shot at all. What the heck?
Yeah, this is the
It's
opposite
actually a
of what
miracle.
happened to me last year, so...
Oh, boy,
you almost
that
got
guy
one
nearly
tap.
one-shot me.
We need to get to Halo.
Yeah, more Mauler
Think we're good
shenanigans,
now.
but really good play and RNG for Kronos here. But again, not out of the woods yet.
It's not over.
I don't know if I mentioned, but we
There's
call this
still
room
quite a
Hell's
lot.
Hallway because, yeah.
Yeah, it took the safe route there, but even doing the safe route, you can easily die to some random brute shot. Stuff like that is always able to happen in this mission.
So
If I get a checkpoint here, that would be great, but I don't think I'm getting one.
Yeah, you have to kill all the flood here to basically get a checkpoint. So you saw him pick up a camo in the reactor room, and he holds it for jumping up this DC.
Cool.
And that saves
did it.
about 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. I'm not sure on the exact timing. Oh, this jump can be a little bit finicky.
What am I doing? I got a checkpoint though, so we're good.
Yeah.
Obviously, I just waited there to force a checkpoint, you know. We're all good. I'm not bad at movement.
Movement's overrated.
Yep, and that's basically Cortana. So,
Yep.
really
The rest
happy
of the
it went
missions-
pretty well.
Yeah, this is a really good Cortana.
what?
Oh, the run is unverified now.
How did that happen? I bumped into, like, the explosion on the left at the same time, and it knocked me to the right. I don't know.
So we
That
have a
was
running
weird.
joke here called Chap Special, where do a little brute shot jump to go around that corner to save a second at best. Oh, Arby! Oh, Arby is setting you on fire!
Arby!
I've never seen Arby set anybody on fire there before. That's funny.
No! Arbiter! He didn't like the fact that I failed Chap Special.
Yeah.
He wants me to try it again.
Yeah, just give me the
You
second
see, that's a
opportunity.
good... You see, I got the checkpoint for a reason, guys.
There it
Just so
is.
I
There's
could
Chap
do it
Special.
again.
The run's now verified.
Now, surely Arby won't do that again. That was a very unfortunate...
Yeah,
oh my
that's one
gosh.
I have never seen before, so... Pretty unlucky.
Like, I couldn't even dodge it. It was just instantly on me. What are you doing here, sir? That's a weird spider spawn.
Okay. We're out of Cortana, which is where we want to be. So, you notice Kronos emptied his brute shot at the end of the mission there because you don't want to carry over into this next mission, and you won't carry over if you have an empty brute shot at the end of the mission. Because you start
Yeah,
this mission
that's-
with a full rocket launcher, and yeah, you definitely need that.
Yeah, the rockets are really crucial in this section. This is probably the most combat-heavy start of the run, or level. So it is very scary, and it is very, very easy to die to a lot of random stuff. So having rockets is very nice here.
Yep. If this looks familiar, we're back to assault on the control room.
Whoa.
Yep, so that flood that drops there always has a hammer, which is super nice. just yoink it, and instead of going all the way around to each level of the tower like Bungie wanted you to, just do some hammer jumps to go to the top of the tower and trigger the start of Spire fight early.
Spark, you in there? Open the damn door.
Of course, remember. Justice.
Oh, he's falling.
Oh yeah, so we want to kill Johnson there, but not knock him off the edge, because again, it's for a dialogue skip, but we want him to get back up and revive, because he's actually super helpful for this section, because his laser goes to work in this section. Yep, and this is firefight. Still don't know exactly how it works. You just spam your rocket launcher at the flood, jump down, get ammo, and get more. There's 3 waves of flood that gotta come down. Yep, so there's another full rocket launcher at the bottom of the tower, so Cronus is gonna drop down and pick that up.
Hopefully I'll get a checkpoint as well. Should be getting one now.
Yep, and do a rocket jump to get back up to the top of the tower.
Here's my checkpoint. I just wanted to wait to make sure, because my last checkpoint is all the way where I grabbed the hammer at the start, so I just want to make sure I don't mess anything up like that. And that would have to make me restart this entire fight. Not fun.
Yep, and you just gotta chill up here. You can take out a bunch of enemies from a distance here.
Scary flood. Scary flood.
Yeah, you see
how do you kill these shielded flood?
Yeah, shield flood can be very...
Oh, I don't have any rockets. Oh no. That's why we get our checkpoint, guys.
Yeah, this is also what's unfortunate about Johnson falling off, is there is just a lot more flood alive than there usually are, so you have to take out a lot more by yourself.
Yeah. Shield flood are probably my least favorite enemies to fight in the game. They just feel invincible. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. Playing it on the edge.
That was so scary.
Each wave will have what we call a boss flood. So they carry a power weapon, such as like a rocket launcher or a field rod, and they'll always drop in equipment too. So when I just picked up a bubble shield here, you don't always get that. So it's going to be very nice to have for later in the mission. And if you drop down a level here and kill all the combat forms, you can deload the rest of the spiders and speed up this fight a little bit.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Was a thing.
That's not the most consistent thing in the world, but it's
hello.
Happens pretty often. And that's the end of...
Flood.
I'm tracking additional dispersal.
Yep, and this is where Johnson will have his dialogue, but he's not alive, he won't talk, and the door opens instantly.
This time.
Hey, and he teleported right there. Pick it up, Johnson. I wonder if you get the early second door then.
That would be cool if I did.
It's trying to rebuild itself
Nope.
on its ring.
Yeah, sometimes this door, if... I don't think it's based on Johnson, but I think if RB is in the right position, this second door will be open for you, which is pretty nice when that happens. And now it's time for the most difficult boss game in the history of gaming. The Angry Eyeball.
Such a strong attack.
So normally we have to wait for Spark to go through his initial dialogue before we can pick up the Spartan laser to actually start damaging him. But with the a well-placed auto turret jump and a gravity hammer swing, you can get behind him and pick up the Spartan laser early, and you can time a Spartan laser shot as soon as he becomes damageable. And that is the 343 Guilty Spark fight, the most difficult fight in gaming. So he's propping up his gravity hammer against this door here for a very good reason, because that room is going to deload, but the edge of it isn't, and the game takes away all your weapons. But you're able to pick up the gravity hammer through the door.
Oh, it has 69 ammo. Nice.
And now we're on the final stretch of the run, which is still really scary.
RB, you don't have to shoot at me.
Yep. Normally, we use a bunch of hammer swings and just YOLO through this section, but you can play it safe and wait for RB to go ahead of you and just guarantee your safety here.
Just gonna play this part a bit safe here.
Yeah.
You don't get any checkpoints here as well, so...
Yeah,
well, at least not until the next section.
Yeah, tons of sentinels, tons of flood, which makes YOLOing it pretty scary. But having RB here makes it really safe.
Okay.
Be careful.
And you'll see a lot of runners carry dual plasma rifles here and just try to shoot off all the flood arms, because if you just shoot off their arms, they become your little pets.
Okay. We should be good here.
Yep.
So we keep the bubble shield for this part in particular. There's a lot of enemies in this room, but going along this right side, we shouldn't take that much damage.
Yeah, this room is
deploy the bubble shield right there, and we can just, yeah, make our way through.
Yep.
Don't let this ring be the end of us, Chief.
And you can use his last bit of hammer to save a little bit of time, and Bungie left a little bit of a surprise here with some popcorn here waiting for you, and it's pretty funny because you don't suspect them to kill you, but they'll one-shot you even on easy. There's a lot of clips of easy runners just getting obliterated by those popcorn.
Yeah, I got destroyed by them one time before. It was not fun. I think it was on a PB pace run and I died there. That was not fun. So now I always am very cognizant to, you know, kill them. Just in case.
On to one of the most iconic sections in gaming, pretty much. The world famous Warthog run. So, where the panels explode is going to be set every time, but where the panels go after they explode, completely random. So it happens pretty often where you'll get hit by a panel and knocked off the edge, and checkpoints are pretty sparse here, so definitely don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so the focus here is to just not flip off the edge. So just be very aware of where the panels are flying. Apart from that, there is a pretty set route to drive. So we'll try to take the correct line.
Yeah, and there are 3 roundabouts. You saw Kronos skip the first roundabout by taking that right path there, and one result of that is you skip a trigger, now there are no enemies over here, which is really useful. But there's still going to be the enemies on the second roundabout.
You can technically do a second roundabout skip, but it is pretty difficult to save time with it.
Yep. Or just to barrel straight through. And it's also really nice to skip the trigger and have as least enemies here as you possibly can, because you're not really worried about the enemies killing you, but most of the enemies are sentinels, and they are super good at flipping you.
Yeah, not only can sentinels flip you by shooting at you, but Arbiter can shoot the sentinels and they fall on top of you. And the explosion that the sentinels die with will kill you by blowing you away.
Oh, speaking of a falling sentinel, just ate all of your speed. So, it's probably the... Ooh, I'm not sure if you have enough speed for it, but yeah, he's going to attempt a third roundabout skip.
What is that panel?
See, that's a perfect example of a panel. If we have enough speed, we can just go on top of that ledge and skip the third roundabout, but unfortunately, the panels do exist, and they do stop you from doing the fun things sometimes. And going through the third roundabout is, yeah, you just get assaulted with spiders and turrets.
And not only that, we get enemies in this next spawn here, so these guys are also very easy to push you off the edge, so not fun.
Yep, there are the sentinel beams going to work. But once you get past this middle section, you should be good.
Yep. Should be fine unless a random fuel rod shot or something.
And will we see a barrel roll?
Wait, where am I going? Where am I going?
That's some interesting routing. Not a big deal.
Took the wrong route.
Oh, it looks like he's lined up for a barrel roll. Oh, is he gonna land it? Oh, no. Nearly got it.
Hey, I landed cleanly though. That's the important part. I actually landed and kept some speed too, so that's actually way better than the standard barrel roll.
Yeah, barrel roll doesn't really save time. We just do it for full swag.
Okay, and time is coming up right after we finish this driving section. So should be in 30 seconds or so. Unless sentinels flip me, but I think we're good. But there's always the chance of one random panel. I've seen some runners lose world record runs to the one panel at the very end, so you never know.
Yeah, there's...
Like a panel can come flying and like strike you here at the final drive in, and like you won't get enough speed. Okay, something hit me there. But yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that's Halo 3.
In 1:33:17 according to my timer here.
Really solid run.
Yeah, not too shabby.
I told you it'd be faster than my hotfix run.
Yeah, Ark and Cubby didn't go the best, but you know, it's a marathon run. Those levels are the most difficult for a reason. So, yeah.
So if people want to learn about Halo 3 speedrunning, where can they, is there a website or something they can go to?
The storm has passed.
Yeah, if you want to go to haloruns.com, the main website for all your Halo speedrunning needs. There's a lot of people in the Discord server and the community. Like, everyone's willing to help. Lots of tutorials are on there. Like, there's links to literally every trick you could ever want to know in the game. Lots of help from the rest of the community members as well. So, yeah, really great place if you guys want to join.
Yeah, if you want to see
also, yeah.
A big
relay race. Yeah, there is a big relay race for the Halo Runs community on the legendary difficulty. So that will be all of the FPS Halo games from Halo Reach, CE 2, 3, ODST 4, 5, and Halo Infinite. So if you want to tune into that on Saturday, this Saturday, I think it's starting at 7 in the morning Central Time. And it's going to be like 12 hours of Halo. So, yeah, feel free to join and tune into that. I think both of us, Skulk and I, will be running. I'll be running ODST Legendary, which is also the next game I'll be running for this showcase here. And Gelk will be running Halo 3 Legendary for it. So make sure to tune in for that. And I think we'll go into ODST next after a break or something.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to go to a quick break. A couple announcements before we go. I'll rush through these so we can get going. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel helps for Games Done Quick with this HotFix content with AGDQ 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you like this content. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you want to check us out live, weeknights at 7 p.m. and weekdays at or weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And feel free to come by and check us out. So we're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back with Kronos again, staying on doing Halo 3 ODST. So we'll be right back. All right, y'all. Welcome back. One quick announcement before we get into the run. Oh my God, I wish I could talk normal. That would be cool. If you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, ! Links in Twitch chat for all things GDQ. Okay, Kronos, Halo 3 ODST. Take us through it.
Yep, and just a quick thing. Make sure to tune into twitch.tv/Halo Races for the legendary relay race. That'll be on Saturday, starting at 7 in the morning Central Time. So, yeah, if you want to see more Halo, make sure to tune in for that. But for now, we're going to get started with ODST on Legendary. So, right here, I'm going to hit Restart Mission, but the mission starts once I get out of the, or the time starts once I get out of the pod here. So, takes a little bit. There's like a small mini cutscene here. But yeah. Have to kind of make sure to get through this part as well at a specific time, because it is slightly of a timed section where you have to do some things on time, like this right-click button press. But once we get out of the tube, timer will start. So starting now. Okay. So ODST is pretty scary of a game. It's probably the game where you're the weakest, because you're not really playing a Spartan, you're just playing a ODST trooper, which isn't as strong as a Spartan. So they take quite a bit more damage from some things, especially on Legendary. And when brutes do stuff like this, oh boy, that was very rude of them. Right here, I'm just trying to kill all these enemies to get to the next section. And there's a bunch of grunts and like 4 brutes that you have to kill. You have to make sure not to die. Also, it doesn't help that there is some aspects of pistol RNG in this, because your pistol sometimes doesn't go where you aim it. Ooh. Oh, that's so unfortunate, actually.
Unlucky.
Okay. Literally the last enemy that got me killed. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and the battle rifle got removed in this game for the recon pistol and the suppressed SMG, so you lose a fair bit of firepower without having a battle rifle in this game.
Yeah, the ODST Legendary starts out pretty brutally with its set of missions. These are generally high reset missions because of how RNG the enemies can be, particularly Prepare to Drop for that first section, and the next level, Teari, which is a big reset portion of the run. So hopefully I can get through that sequence all clean, but we will see what happens. So right here, we're just going to make our way to the end of the level. Small grenade boost. Probably not the wisest thing to do, especially on Legendary. But you rarely die doing it, at least from my experience. I've died doing that strat only once out of like about 100 runs, so it's not too scary. Something you'll notice is that we emptied all our ammo, so we don't get carryover. Same thing, or same concept as in Halo 3. So we get to spawn in with extra grenades in the next section of the run.
So the ODST campaign set up pretty uniquely. So there's the street missions where you're playing as the rookie and you're searching for clues of your lost allies. Then the other missions, you're playing the flashbacks of your allies. And the flashback missions are usually more action-oriented, and the streets missions are like more low-key and just in the city in the dark, vibing to some jazz music.
Yeah, these missions are very brutal, the first few. You have to just run through all of these enemies. There's quite a lot. They have brute shots, and you don't have like any health to get past some of these sections. So you have to be very careful. These missions are also relatively short, but just the fact that you don't get too many checkpoints makes it so that you kind of have to replay basically the entire mission if you die. So it is very scary sometimes. Oh, don't shoot me, please. Thank you. It's very important here to have as much health as you can during this next section. This is possibly the last checkpoint I'll get in the run. So, or not the run, but this level.
Yeah, that'd be a brutal run.
The run, that would be not nice. But yeah, that sequence is very dangerous. There's a lot of jackals here and grunts that can really easily kill you. And then this next section, there's a ton of enemies that we're going to have to kill here. And we're most likely not getting a checkpoint. So, just going to try to hope for the best. Throw some grenades and stuff. Kill the grunts and jackals that we can. I should grab some pistol ammo here, just for safety reasons. And then kill 2 more jackal snipers up top, and hopefully get a checkpoint. We didn't get one, so I can die here and get reset for a minute.
The funny thing in this game is you can actually tank a beam rifle shot from a beam jackal in this game, and you can on Halo 3, which makes 0 sense.
Yeah. Okay, very scary. Just run straight into the hunter. That's kind of what you have to do there. But yeah, I think we're able to get out of this. There's just 3 grunts here at the end. No way!
Oh,
You're joking!
unlucky.
You're actually joking! He died throwing the plasma! No, there goes all the progress. I should have played a bit safer probably, but that's something that just doesn't happen. Oh boy. Well, now we have to get past this hell zone again. Oh boy. But yeah, this entire sequence is very unfortunate sometimes. There's just so many jackals that can snipe you. There's so many brutes, for instance, that like one shot from the brute can really just kill you sometimes. I'm just trying to get these jackals to die. This guy has a overcharge, so I wanted to kill him for sure.
Also,
I
throws me
really
off.
don't want to get killed by these jackal snipers, because if you do take a shot from them, you'll be down to 1 shot of health, which is not good either.
Always throws me off how weird the grenade arcs are in this game.
Yeah. Also, right there's a prime example of the brute being able to one-shot you. It is not fun. And yeah, this is one of the toughest missions in the run. Very unforgiving. So we're going to have to try it again for a 3rd time. And I am doing a lot of safe strats here, so yeah, this doesn't look fast, but I promise you it is a very difficult section if you try to just brute force your way through. There's so many sniper jackals and brutes and anything that can just instantly kill you. Like that. Oh boy. Oh, I got a checkpoint here this time.
Nice.
I didn't realize that. That means I can be a little bit more aggressive here. But yeah, that checkpoint is pretty rare. You can sometimes get a checkpoint just around this corner, but yeah. Also just matrix through all of those bullets right there. Don't mind me.
Closing on my position. Listen carefully. If I don't make it,
Whoa, hang on, I'll be right.
Okay. Never mind. You have to really just go straight through to those hunters sometimes as well.
location.
Almost there. What's wrong?
Multiple hostiles closing in my position. Listen carefully. If I don't make it,
Whoa, hang on, I'll be right
And this
back.
game brings back the health pack system that was in CE. What a lot of people don't know in Halo 2 and 3 is you still have health, it's just hidden, and it slowly recharges after your shields recharge. But this game, you have to pick up health packs to recharge your health.
I got killed by that one grunt. That was so unfortunate. But yeah, that took probably about twice as long as that level should take, so that's pretty unfortunate, but we got through it. That's the hardest level in ODST, so at least that's over with. One of the shortest, but one of the toughest. And now we're into streets, and streets missions are a bunch of just walking and pretty chill music. Very nice game to speedrun if you enjoy much more movement-based things. And it is overall a slightly easier speedrun apart for certain tricks, which we'll get to later in the run. But if you want to pick a starting game to run, both Halo 3 and ODST are pretty good for beginners to learn. Especially because their legendary difficulties are not as bad as, for instance, like Halo 2. Halo 2 is pretty tough to learn, but like there's a lot of cool things about each individual Halo game if you want to speedrun them. Some are a lot more trick-centric, some are a lot more combat-centric. And both Halo 3 and ODST are a lot more combat-oriented.
And it's also worth mentioning that the ODST run is done on New Game Plus, basically. So there's a bunch of audio logs scattered throughout the street sections. And if you collect a certain amount, you unlock weapon and vehicle caches, and those get used in the street sections throughout the run.
Yep. So it's pretty important for the speedrun to have all the audio logs collected. You need at least 8 for easy speedruns to get the Mongoose unlocked early on. But for Legendary, if you have all of them, it is slightly nicer because I think it makes Data Hive easier, which is one of the later missions in the game. Although, I don't remember what the reason it is for it being easier. I'm pretty sure it's like some small Easter egg thing for it. But yeah, Streets, you're just making our way to the next part of the level. Streets 1 isn't too bad. The only Streets missions which are the scariest are the Prepare to Drop, which we got through on the first start of the game. But the next Streets mission will be the hardest and probably the scariest. Also, I forgot to empty my SMG. That's pretty crucial, so I'm going to have to stall a bit here. Yeah, it's very important to have an empty SMG there because you need a refill of your ammo.
If you see red, move.
So now this is Uplift. Similar to Savo on Halo 3, this is pretty much a driving-oriented mission. So we're going to just have to hope for the best sometimes.
It has the same color scheme as Savo.
Yeah. So generally we want to kill a chopper on our way, but it didn't peek out here, so hopefully, okay, we got shot once, so it's slightly scary, but it shouldn't matter. Scary chopper is right here if we take too much damage, because this Wraith can kill us. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. But that is the only section of Sava which is super scary. The rest of the mission should be fine overall. There's just this one hill climb right here, which we're going to do with the Ghost, climbing on this rock here, and hopefully going all the way over top. That was very bad, and I might die. Okay.
Ooh.
That was not how that was supposed to go, but we made it.
ODST reporting for duty, sir.
Nice of you to drop in, trooper.
Okay, we're going to just grab this health pack in case.
Heavy casualties. Need immediate assistance.
Okay, that's a chopper.
Trooper, you're almost at second platoon's location.
And now we're just driving past these two Wraiths and a chopper here. Okay, that actually nearly destroyed my Ghost. And that's why we take the health pack. I probably should grab a new Ghost, maybe. I think there's one at the end here. If not, then I should technically be fine. Yeah, I'm just going to grab this new Ghost. I'm not comfortable with having a 0 health Ghost like that on the rest of the mission. And we're going to continue just driving up these cliffs. Generally, if you take the intended route, there's quite a lot more enemies that you have to deal with, and that is not fun. As you can see, we're driving past a bunch of Wraiths, turrets, brute shot brutes, choppers, and everything. But just because we're in the Ghost going through some weird sections, we can just maneuver our way through all of these bullets and just complete this mission pretty easily.
Nicely done.
Yeah, so now this is the Scary Streets mission. So there's a lot of stuff that can kill you here. I'm going to try to do a grenade boost. Didn't get it. It's fine. But there's sniper jackals and a bunch of brute chieftains that will try to kill you. Right here we're grabbing a sniper rifle for this next sequence here. That's because there's going to be sniper jackals pretty far away. That makes it a lot easier to snipe. Also, the pistol isn't the strongest at killing brutes on its own, so the sniper rifle being 3-shot kills on most brutes really does help out a lot. Apart from that, it's just walking until the end here, where all the enemies are.
Isn't that sniper from an audio log weapons cache? So a New Game Plus bonus?
Yep. Same with the mongoose. But yeah, this is the last streets mission where we have to walk, because once we get the mongoose, as long as it doesn't blow up, we are able to just keep it throughout the rest of these missions here. So just making sure that we kill these enemies here. Here we go. I nearly missed that jackal sniper behind me. That would have been kind of scary. We're fine. So this next sequence, there's a bunch of sleeping enemies that they will wake up if we don't kill them because there's a brute watching. But you can either choose to assassinate the brute or to just kill the grunts below, and it should work out just fine. Groot spawn is kind of weird sometimes. Sometimes he's like right in front of you, sometimes he's a bit further down or in a different spot. Just have to keep aware. And now we're just climbing to the end sequence where we're going to grab our mongoose here. And there's a bunch of enemies that we have to deal with. So hopefully we do not die. Because if we died, our last checkpoint is before this walk sequence here. And sometimes it can be even further back, even to the start of the streets missions, which is very, very scary. So we killed those 2 jackals, and now we want to kill this chieftain with the carbine. You can sometimes have a brute shot, which is the worst scenario. Or sometimes he has a plasma rifle, which is pretty good for us.
Oh yeah, this is also the first time you just see an engineer, which the unique enemy would boost the shields of friends around him.
Now right here, there's a bunch of enemies as well. I'm going to just slowly clear these guys. And be careful of plasma grenades, because one plasma grenade will kill your mongoose here. So you have to be very careful. And if your mongoose blows up, then you kind of have to restart and grab a new mongoose, which is not fun. And we made it through. Good streets too, no deaths. That's important. And now we're on Oni Alpha Site, which is similar to Crow's Nest in Halo 3. Lots of wave fights. There's not too much you can do to speed it up, apart from not die and kill things kind of efficiently. So that's the goal right here. So we're grabbing the sniper rifle and the ammo up at the top of this tower. And hit this button. Grab some grenades. And just try not to die to these Wraith mortar shots, which there's a lot of them that come flying. So you have to just be very wary of where they're going to land. Like that one landed right where I needed to go, for instance. So you have to just be very careful sometimes.
This next section is pretty fun to watch because you get to see a lot of fun Spartan laser subs where you set up some collateral shots to optimize your laser usage.
I also sniped a grunt out of the turret. And right there I killed oh boy, you were still alive. There we go. Whew, that was clean-ish. Not the cleanest, but you know, we got through. And now we're going to carry this pistol over to snipe a few enemies here. It is really good at just taking out a bunch of grunts. And to speed up this fight, we want to just kill as many brutes as we can. So, or just as many enemies as we can as soon as possible. So I'm going to actually use this last shot here. And now we're just killing all of the grunts that we can. Also, I am very low on health here. Okay.
Courage, warriors! This kill or die upon it!
That chieftain is rude.
Our phantoms look sharp! Reloading!
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to keep track of here, so it is kind of hard to commentate through that sequence. Have to grab a lot of ammo and stuff. Stay alive from these brutes that are shooting at me. Oh boy. I think we're fine here. I'm getting all the power weapons. Why is he still following me? Oh no.
And there's a hidden rocket launcher back here that a lot of people don't know about.
We can't hold them.
Here we
Everyone
go.
get inside the building.
Too many of them, Dutch. We gotta scoop.
So now here we're going to try to get some early dialogue here by throwing a grenade. This will make Mickey, one of our Marines here, potentially path the right way. There we go. And now we're going to give the laser to our friends here to keep it for later on. Take his pistol because the pistol is going to help quite a lot with killing these enemies. And we're going to be killing a bunch of enemies here. And this is probably the scariest combat sequence in the run. There's so many brutes that can really easily kill you. And we're just going to kind of manipulate these grunts a bit. By jumping on places where the grunts cannot reach you, the grunts will just blow up on their own when they pull out their plasma grenades. So that slightly helps out. So once all the enemies on one side are dead, we just hop on to the other side, keep killing them, and then there's going to be a ton of brutes that will spawn at the next side. So I have to kind of be careful here. We get a nice checkpoint. These brutes are kind of spread out though, which is kind of unfortunate. We want them to be clumped together so you don't have to use too many extra rockets here. Okay, so I also have to make sure I keep at least... What the heck is that? What is going on, Jackal? What is that? Okay. But yeah, we're just going to try to take care of all of these brutes here. There we go. Now that everything is dead, except one enemy, or two, okay. Here we go. You want to grab a plasma pistol and trade our rockets for this laser. You should reload it, and once we kill him, we get our rockets back.
Changing mags.
And it gets fully reloaded because enemies just reload your rockets and basically you have infinite ammo. It's pretty cool. So now we're just going to try to kill all of these leftover grunts and brutes here. There's quite a lot of brutes still alive on that side. That's kind of abnormal. Oh. Kill these brutes with lasers. Okay, these last two guys are going to be kind of annoying. There we go. And that should be it. Nice. Not quite. There's still a little bit left.
Everyone on the elevator! I put enough charges in the shaft to blow this building
Or
twice.
brains dropping or something.
That's it. Transfer the detonation codes to my car. If anyone's taking this place out, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I could pause. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let me try.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. A couple of technical issues, but we got them fixed. We're ready to go. Kronos, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a countdown.
Okay. So, 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah, so we finished this wave fight, and now we're just climbing up this elevator, going to kill a bunch of these buggers that are just flying up here. And this is basically the final portion of the mission. Can be pretty difficult though sometimes, especially the very ending. There are quite a lot of chieftain brutes in general that are pretty difficult to deal with. So we're going to try to kill the chieftain instantly here with an overcharge and a rocket straight on. But it can sometimes miss, so let's hope for the best. Okay, that's good. Going to have Mickey reload our rockets so we get more ammo, so we can kill the rest of these enemies. Okay. And there we go. That's everything dead, except brute somewhere. What? It's fine. Can just do a grenade jump.
The ODST version of Early Belkin.
That was scary. I missed it, but I saved it with a second hammer swing. So we're all good.
Unfortunately, you don't see a lot of the hammer in ODST.
Yeah, you see a lot of it on one specific mission, which is Data Hive. So we'll get to use it more there. But now we're going to have streets. This is going to happen between basically every mission. We're going to have a driving sequence here to go through each of these portions before going to the next level. And in this mission in particular for streets, there is a cool grenade trick we'll try to do here. So hopefully I can land it. I'm going to also try to kickflip our mongoose here down to the bottom. Wasn't the cleanest, but we got there. And now we're going to use our mongoose with a grenade to hopefully launch us all the way to the top here. And this is a lot faster than climbing the stairs. It didn't get all the way to the top, but getting to this roofed portion here lets us do a second grenade jump to the top. Collect these grenades, nearly get shot by the beam rifle jackal, but we're good. And now we're on Kazinga, which is probably it's one of the scariest missions in the run. So we're going to throw a couple grenades and shoot a rocket here to kill some enemies. And we're just waiting here for the enemies to walk by. There's quite a lot. And we're just going to wait for them to go by. Shoot a second rocket there. Probably not the best idea. That brute shot brute can really mess you up. But the important thing is we have a plasma pistol, because we're going to be using it to hijack a Banshee later in the level. So now here we're just going to try to maneuver. Yeah, we're going to, oh boy, try to maneuver ourselves through this entire sequence here. There's quite a lot of enemies, and oh boy, I am one shot from death here. So we're going to just snipe all of these enemies. There's going to be a brute on there. We're killing all of these turrets. I'm gonna kill this guy. Maybe. He's not there. Now, hopefully not die to this brute in the middle. Should be good now. Get this safety checkpoint.
Yeah, this could be a very useful
here
checkpoint.
is Banshee Grab. So right here we're going to just kill these chieftain guys. Kill our Marine on the turret. And what? Where are my Banshees? Hello? Okay. That was really weird.
Banshee-less Banshee Grab?
The Banshees were super slow there.
So these Banshees are also super interesting because they're like the AA Wraith in Halo 3, where you have to enter and kill the driver on the same frame to actually drive it. But it's, as you can see, so much more difficult with a Banshee because it also has to be right side up, which is the hardest part of doing this.
No, I don't have any ammo left. Okay, try it again. Have a good checkpoint at least to continue doing this. There we go.
Nice shot.
And yeah, that trick is pretty difficult. Nearly got hit by teammates, allies, rockets right there. We fly back here for a checkpoint because this next section is very scary. Yep, you can see that Wraith shot right there. And we can easily die to the rest of those bullets, so that is very scary. And once again, we have like 0 health right here. So I need to be extremely careful with how I play this section because I have no room for error at this end sequence.
Yeah,
but I got past all of the hard part.
Yeah, there's a wave fight here. The fair amount of vehicles and ground enemies, so having a Banshee here makes it a lot more bearable.
Yeah, I kind of missed my fuel rod shot. Don't mind me. I should just wait for it to go a bit lower before I shoot. There we go. But yeah, there's a bunch of waves here of enemies that we have to kill. Have to kill this Wraith as well. And our goal here is just to not die, stay safe, and kill these guys from behind. It's very scary because the brutes with brute shots, those can really easily kill you, especially since you're in a Banshee. Just the explosions are very scary to deal with. Once all those guys are dead, a second Phantom will spawn, and this time we're going to try to kill... Okay. We're trying to kill both shade or turrets on the Phantom right here, so we have to kind of be careful. There we go. It's one. Okay, I was not in time because I needed to shoot a bit earlier for the first one. That, or I just need to play super safe and just, yeah, this is better. There we go. And now we're just going to kill the rest of these guys, basically the same as the first wave, just in reverse order. There's no Wraith this time though, so that's a bit nicer. Just going to fly over to this back corner here for safety. shoot the guys from back here. And once the Phantom goes away, nothing else should spawn, so we can just kill these Jackals and finish off whatever's left in the middle. Brute shots are scary. And that's all. That is Kazingo. Kazingo's just very tough mission in general, so it's nice to just get that out of the way. All the Banshee grab shenanigans, all of that stuff is pretty tough to deal with.
Yep. I've seen clips of ODST runners been struggling with Banshee grab for minutes, so like Kronos had a fairly easy time with it this time around.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going on to the next mission, NMPD, which is a very cool mission. We're just going to have a bunch of power weapons and just kill basically everything at the end.
Yeah, the wave fight at the end is one of the coolest things in the run. Also, it's set to probably the best song in this game's OST.
Yeah. NMPD is probably one of my favorite ODST levels. Lots of freedom in terms of how you kill your enemies, and the RNG is like workable. You have to adapt to what you get, so it's pretty knowledge based as well.
Also, the starting movement's also really cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't do cone launches on Legendary, but generally we do a cone launch on this one on easy. But because it's Legendary, we need to kill all these enemies and just play safe. Gonna snipe all these guys. And just try to keep alive here. There are so many enemies here, and it is super scary. Gonna camp in this corner a bit so enemies pass by earlier. Do a nade jump, and because we waited, we let all the brutes pass so we don't die to them. There's generally like 4 brutes up top there, I want to say. So it's pretty nice to just not deal with them. And here there's a bunch of Jackal snipers we're going to try to kill. Ooh, I got really unlucky there. So now we're going to have to do this sequence again. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get the other checkpoint. You can get a checkpoint after the grenade jump, but sometimes you just don't get it.
Another display of how brutal Halo checkpoints can be.
We're down, Gunny. On a rooftop, northeast of your location.
Yeah.
Stay put, Dutch. We'll come to you.
Like, you would normally get a checkpoint just entering in here. Still not getting one, so we're going to just have to hope again. Generally, these Jackal snipers don't hit you twice. In fact, sometimes they just don't hit you at all, even with all their bullets. So right there, I took like no damage. So, pretty RNG sometimes. Now here, we're just going to try to kill all these guys. Lots of turrets and stuff to kill. Gonna throw a spike grenade on that guy. Try to distract that chieftain so he doesn't kill us. And now we're at this sequence here. Kill these Jackals, grab this fuel rod. Don't need the fuel rod, but I find it really nice for the end sequence to give to your allies. And now here's a bunch of sniping here. Need to clear as many enemies as we can before we get to the platform to speed it up. Once like a set enemy count of is dead, the mission will continue to progress to the wave fight of a bunch of phantoms. So Just have to make sure everything is dead that we can kill. Once we do, we get this pop-up. And we're going to check the sky here to see which waves are spawning. So I got left side wave first, which isn't not what you really want, but it's what we're getting here. And we're going to try to kill the phantoms. So we are keeping tabs on what enemies are spawning in. So I'm pre-firing these rockets at this phantom here. And then with this missile pot that I set up, I am destroying this thing and just a bunch of shooting. Lots of shooting. That's the best way I could describe it. Okay, I missed that shot. But now we're just trying to focus on killing all these banshees, as once a set number of banshees die, then the mission will continue to progress. We don't have to worry too much about the phantoms. Just want to focus on whatever is flying around. Plus Dutch is a really good shot. And once enough phantoms are dead, along with banshees, then the last wave here will spawn, so we have right side blast. Just going to continue to kill all these banshees that we can. It's gonna be a lot that spawn.
You have to kill them, or they just kill them for safety?
You kill the banshees to speed up the fight. Like, once a certain number dies, then the next phantom will spawn in. That or a timer. And if you kill enough before the phantom dies, then the next wave will spawn sooner. But for instance, right here, I didn't kill them like that quickly. So this last phantom is going to take a little bit longer to come in. But it should come soon. You'll see it raise up here. And you have to make sure not to kill this phantom too soon. Otherwise, you'll soft lock. Also, I didn't kill it. So that's pretty bad. Now I have to kill all of these brutes that spawned in. Generally, it is 4 shots to kill the phantom, but one of my shots missed, so that's unfortunate. And once everything's dead, this last phantom comes, and that is NMPD. And apart from the one sniper jackal death, this is pretty solid. Pretty solid NMPD. So I'll take it. So I think we have 2 streets missions left that are pretty short driving sequences. But the next mission that we're coming on is Kikowani, which has a very cool out-of-bounds trick using banshees. So it is pretty tough sometimes, and on Legendary it is also pretty scary because you have to deal with a bunch of enemies that are not friendly, especially having to just run into a banshee while taking fire from a phantom and the phantom turret, all of that stuff.
Yeah, the Kiko out of bounds is pretty cool because it's the same concept as the Arc out of bounds tankless you saw in Halo 3, but getting out of bounds is a bit of a chore because you have to ride on top of a phantom and have it push you out of bounds instead of having a nice giant airship blow you out of bounds.
Gunny, I can fly a Pelican, but a Phantom? It's been years since I even ran a simulation. Well, let's see what you remember, Trooper.
Yeah, so right here, we're going to kill all those grunts, grab this beam rifle, and then snipe this brute out of the Banshee. So now we're going to not kill the grunts that are next to us. Also, that was unlucky. The grunt actually stuck me there. Have to make sure this kill is clean, otherwise the Banshee will not spawn in a good spot, or land in a good spot, I should say. But yeah, I can't kill the grunts too soon, otherwise these enemies will drop down and kill you. So I kill a grunt pretty late there, fly away here to get past a barrier, and get a checkpoint by flying up like that. And now we're going to use this Phantom to go out of bounds by boosting at the right time. That was a bit late. And what this does is it lets us fly the Banshee outside of the level, because generally you're not allowed to take your Banshee out of here. So I am doing this a bit too far forwards for a bit. Still a bit too far forwards.
Go, Mickey, up the lift, kill the pilot. Here goes nothing.
It was super interesting to see this mission evolve from no out of bounds to these out of bounds strats.
Yeah, it's kind of a fairly recent development, I want to say. Like 2019, 2020? I think 2020 or something is when it was found, so it's not even that old of a trick. But it cut down the time of this mission from like 4 minutes down to 2, which is absolutely insane. It's like under 2 minutes now you can beat this mission if you do it perfectly. Also, another small thing, you'll notice we're doing Banshee tricks to the side. That is something called slinky flipping, and it is very cool. It lets you, okay. It lets you just move a bit faster in your desired direction. Now here we're doing another out of bounds here. Nice, we got that first try. That one's slightly harder to do in my opinion, but both were pretty difficult. And now we just fly to the end of the level. Yeah.
One of the things I like most about the older Bungie Halo games is there's no death timer. If you go out of the map, if you brute force out of an elastic barrier, you can just explore at your own free will.
Yeah, it is really cool. And yeah, the trick is pretty tough. It's not as easy as it looks because there's so much nuance in the trick as well. And overall, that was a pretty good Kikawani apart from first out of bounds being kind of rough. But now we're on the last streets mission, and we're coming up towards the last few levels of the run. But the thing is, the last 2 levels are the longest 2 levels of the run. I think Coastal Highway is also the longest mission in any of the Halo game speedruns. So, we are in for a long one for that one. Also, nice flip on my mongoose. Okay. Okay, I'm stuck on that lamppost. Okay. 20-second mission to 25 seconds. Oof. We're good though. But now here is Data Hive, probably one of the most combat-intensive missions in the game. There's a lot of brutes that we're going to have to manually kill, so lots of new combos with plasma pistol overcharges and sniping them in the head with a pistol. That and using the carbine as well.
If trade or escape, it's their fault, not ours.
So something else that we're also doing is looking for plasma grenades. Plasma grenades are very important to carry over for the next mission. So I want to make sure I have full plasma grenades by the end of the mission. I'm going to use one here though for a cone launch. So as you can see, it boosts you a little bit. Sometimes you can get really good cone launches with it. Are very cool to see when they happen. Now we're just making our way through these hallways and killing enemies. Which is pretty much what this mission is. Okay. So right here, for instance, we're going to hold an overcharge and kill this brute. That makes the jackals run away. They ran straight into me there. And hopefully kill this next brute as well. Okay. I thought that grunt turned into a suicide grunt right there. That would be not good.
Thanks, Trooper.
We made it through. Okay.
Been trying to get down to the next level checking my team, but this stack is locked down tight.
So now here we're going to press this button, and then we're going to throw a frag grenade to pre-kill these drones.
Buggers, look out!
Grab this carbine, and now we're going to kill all of these guys. So there's that drone there, this one here, and now hopefully this brute cooperates. Okay, not really. Okay, I whiffed 2 overcharges. It's fine though. And there we go. Kill all those brute guys. You can walk past them, but kinda just want to play it slightly safer. Safe is better than speed sometimes when it comes to being speedy. Because not dying is speedy. And yeah, all of these hallways now are just a bunch of enemies that we have to kill. There's no other way to go about it, because these are very dangerous to deal with. One brute can easily kill you. One grunt can even easily kill you if they just throw a plasma grenade at a bad spot. So you have to be kinda careful. Okay. That's a good example right there. Okay, grab some more ammo.
Over here.
And there's one more wave of enemies here. There's a bunch of grunts. And one more brute. Okay, he dropped grenades. And you have to be careful. What is that? How many plasma grenades were there? What? What? I haven't seen a chain reaction that big ever. I literally have never seen a chain reaction like that ever. What the heck? How many grenades were there?
Yet, but yeah, there's if there are grenades on the floor and an explosion or the grenades get shot, they'll explode on the floor. So, and that's a very common death in both Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST.
Yeah, but that was actually super unlucky because generally the grenades will just chain react all at the same time. But that was a chain reaction of chain reactions. There were like so many grenades just not stopping. Okay. Oh shoot, I should have grabbed the new plasma pistol. So now here, I have to make sure we kill all the grunts here. This is important. Okay, I think the Marine did that for me. And now we just have to kind of play safe here. Hopefully the Marine bugs them so I can get a checkpoint here. Or at least play slightly safe. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do a cone launch right here. Whee! Let's go.
Nice.
Oh, I only have 1 ammo in this plasma pistol. That is going to be interesting. So I have to
overcharge if you're lucky.
this brute. Nice. Perfect. That's all I needed. Now everything else I can just kill with the carbine. And by the way, that was the most difficult section of Data Hive that we got through earlier with all those brute chieftains.
So another subtle difference between ODST and Halo 3 is ODSTs can carry more nades for some more reason, so they're tankier and can carry more nades than Master Chief. I don't know the logic behind that.
Also, I nearly died there, so I grabbed a safety health pack. We're all good.
Welcome. Access granted.
Also, I saw someone mention in chat that that's another tally for me getting chain reacted at a GDQ event. I think last time I ran Halo CE, I got chain reacted in library from a like such a bad chain reaction. So that's another one for sure. Okay. And yeah, here we traded the pistol out, or the carbine out for a pistol, because the pistol is just more accurate than the carbine. It's just something that happens. That chieftain was pretty interesting. So, okay. That was a super unlucky plasma grenade again.
Quite a bit of an annoying mechanic in Halo 3 and ODST is sometimes you can kill a grunt right when they're throwing a nade and they drop it at their feet. Just the most inconvenient place you can possibly leave it.
I've been shot.
Yeah, sometimes it works out, but sometimes it just is terrible. So now here we're going to kill this chief, or brute right here. That makes the jackals do some interesting things so that they don't fire at you. Also, what the heck? All these drones are out in the open right there. That is not what's supposed to happen. Generally, they're like way further back. Oh boy, that's a rough death because that was the last part before I get a checkpoint. So that's kind of unfortunate. We're fine though. Generally, we want to take damage here, but not too much damage, because what happens is we can grab that health pack through the wall, and that just puts us back to full. But if we're not full, then, or at least if we are full health but not full shields, we won't get our shields back either. So it's just something that happens. And now we're past that section, and we're heading to the very ending sequence of the level. And there's going to be a big catwalk launch that's coming up. So we'll be using this brute shot that we pick up right here to do a very powerful launch. Hopefully we'll be just fine. Also, my plasma pistol isn't working.
Some C-level plasma pistol tracking.
Just completely missed.
Getting warmer.
And yeah, here we shoot this barricade with 6 brute shots, and we're going to line ourselves up here and do a brute shot jump and go all the way up to the top here. And that skips quite a decent portion, because not only does it save like about a minute, I think it's a minute, but it also saves time from having no enemy spawns in this section, where I think there's a bunch of drone spawns and stuff here, which is not fun to deal with. So that is always good. Now we're heading to basically the end of the mission. So we're going to grab this health pack, and there's 3 brutes at this part. We want to kill the hammer brute the most, and we want to make sure that only one of these brutes die at the start, if possible. Because we don't want that to happen, where the brute uses invincibility. Otherwise, stuff will happen that is not fun.
Not bad. You do know your stuff.
I hope that's fine, because I'm going to need to use that box for a box launch. This is a super good hammer. 89.
I was getting the max RNG today.
On Halo Start, it was a 50-ish, I remember. And now here we're doing a setup, so we're going to launch Dare into a corner right here, and Virgil up to the ceiling. And what that does is it puts them out of bounds. So once we get launched to the end of the level here, after this checkpoint, we're going to do a box launch here, and hopefully go all the way to the end. To kind of get a good one, though. That's not good enough.
Enjoy your 1 box launch of ODST.
Ooh, that's too powerful. Have to make sure this is good. But this does save a bit of time, because there's 2 phantoms of enemies that spawn in, and that's quite a lot to deal with. I might need to go to this right side here.
Veronica, over here!
I wonder if that's good enough. I'm going to melee. Okay.
This is our exit, rookie. Head through the door.
So that makes it so that this area opens up without me having to kill all the phantoms worth of enemies. Gonna kill these drones and stuff.
Feel free to fill me in whenever.
There's one more. There we go. And that is all of them. And now we're just waiting for this next door to open. And that's going to take about a minute. So in the meantime, we're going to set up this coil and hopefully do a coil launch. Not really a fusion coil launch, which does exist in this game, but
don't worry,
it's not a fusion coil. And yeah, we're just setting it in position right here, so we're going to use the hammer to blow it up in the end and wait for this door to open.
Will not push Virgil here anymore.
Why is this one so important?
This engineer knows
that used to be a thing.
You can push Virgil here, but setting up this coil is more important, and by the time I set it up, Virgil was already in position.
killed any of them, have you?
But yeah, this coil launch here saves a bit of time if you do it properly. So hopefully I can do it. Nope, I didn't do it. It's fine. So now we're going to kind of manipulate our allies here by looking back at them. And once we turn around, they'll just teleport to where we need to go. And there we go. So that is Data Hive. Level took forever to end there for some reason. And now we are on Coastal Highway, which is the longest mission in the speedrun, and I'm going to try to do one of the hardest tricks in the series. So hopefully I can land it. I'll give it a couple of attempts, but if they don't go well, then I will do the standard route. Especially because we are making pretty good time here. So I can kind of afford to mess up quite a bit. I think the timer is, yeah, I have like 23 minutes on this mission.
Yeah, this trick is super complicated. It's another out of bounds setup, but this is an out of bounds on steroids.
Yeah. And out of all the Halo games that I have speedran, this is up there with one of the hardest, especially in full game speedruns. I don't think there is a tougher trick that is used in full game. Maybe Halo CE's Banshee out of level, but this one, it has a lot of like small things about it that make it extremely difficult. So right here we're going to get Buck out of our Warthog, and we're going to kill a Fuel Rod Grunt, and we're going to set up our Warthog here for probably the longest trick in this series as well. This trick is like a 10-minute trick on its own, or more like 12. Okay, I didn't kill the Fuel Rod Grunt, so that might be kind of scary. So I have to park this Warthog pretty precisely here. And I'm going to really want to kill this guy. There we go.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer a second.
So I'm going to shoot this Warthog to the side there. I'm going to grab these rockets and line myself up here for a trick. So plasma, frag, plasma, and a rocket. And that didn't work. We'll try it again. But we're going to try to get our Warthog out of bounds. And this is probably the hardest part, is this first launch right here. It's kind of inconsistent for me. There's a couple runners that are extremely good at it. If you want to see professional or like top tier ODST gameplay, I would highly recommend Wingman 953. He is the world record holder of basically, I want to say like 90% of the missions. So he is a really top tier solid runner and holds both full game records.
Yeah, another reason this out of bounds is so difficult is just getting it over the barrier isn't enough. You have to get it a certain distance out of bounds for it to actually be viable.
Oh, shoot, don't kill me. No, that would have worked. That Warthog was there, but I was not in time to kill the grunts because I needed to shoot the Warthog just a bit more. That was so close, though. That was really close.
The engineer's doing something with the control circuits. Hey, watch me put that.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm doing the best I can. Just stay out of our way.
Yeah, it is a very difficult trick. And this trick does save a ton of time. It's not like minor time save, it is like 5 minutes a time save. So if you land it, it is a ton of time.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer a second to override the lock.
I don't think that'll work. It needs to be above a certain marker. That kind of would have worked if it were not hitting the wall there.
Hey, Captain?
crowded in here. The engineer's doing something with the control circuits. Hey!
Okay, I can't snipe that grunt. That is pretty annoying.
I'm doing the best I can. Just stay out of our way.
I have to be very careful right now. The faster I do this, the better as well.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer
So
a second
even
to override
when you
the
get
lock.
the Warthog out of bounds, the driving afterwards is still pretty difficult. You have to, there's a bunch of triggers you need to hit on the Warthog drive, and you have to do some pretty precise driving to hit the actual trigger volumes.
Yeah, it is a very, very tough trick, so going to be trying to do our best here.
Crowded in here. The engineer's doing something with the control circuits. Hey! Watch where you put that!
Otherwise, you could take the standard route of just driving, which also is kind of difficult,
I'm doing the best I can.
but it's not as fun.
Stay out of our way. Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer a second to override the lock.
Oh, it's too far to the right. That's unfortunate.
Take the wheel, rookie. All right, shotgun.
I'll keep going though. I have a lot of time to do this trick without going over, I hope, I think. It shouldn't go that far over estimate.
And the out of bounds driving is a lot more interesting to watch than the old route, which is just pushing Dare in their little armored car thing
Just stay out of our way.
for 17 minutes.
Yeah. Let's try to just park it perfectly.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer a second to override the lock.
It's also been super cool to, like, to see these tricks come out. I think, like, ever since the Master Chief Collection got released on PC, we've got access to a lot of awesome tools that the community made. Shouts to Burnt for his checkpoint trainer, allowing us to find things like this.
Take the wheel, rookie. All right, shotgun.
Big shout outs to all the Halo Runs community members for sure. Lots of trick finders and people that make auto splitters and stuff and checkpoint trainers, whatever. There's like so many resources that were just homemade by Halo Runs members that are used like extensively among the rest of the community members. So it's really nice. Okay.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer a second to override the lock.
It's not going high enough. Okay, I'll give it one more shot here. If I don't land it, I'll just drive the normal route, I think. It is a pretty tough trick. Or I could inject a checkpoint. I think that's probably a good idea.
That's another thing we have is the
Crowded in here. The engineer's doing
with the
something
checkpoint tool, so you can save custom checkpoints and load them in.
It's really
Yeah, I'll
tight
just
that the
load-
community's like put that much work into this.
I'm doing the best I
Yeah,
can.
it's super awesome.
Just stay out
I mean, I feel like it's
Like,
definitely partially due to Halo just being such a popular game, but like, man, I would kill for some of this stuff in like games that I run.
Yeah, people have made like every resource that you can think of in the Halo Runs community. It's so great.
Covenant must have shut these doors. Give the engineer a second to override the lock.
Okay. If it lands, okay. I think this could work. This should be able to work. I just have to not die here. And kill all of the grunts. I think that is all of them except one, okay. Once everything is dead, then I can set up this warthog in the right spot. Just right there. Going to... oh shoot, there is one more grunt. Don't throw a plasma, please. Okay. And now we're going to head here for the checkpoint. And now we're going to just try to get this launch. Go over the railing and hopefully not have that happen. I'm just going to try to land upright with it. And this can also be kind of awkward sometimes as well. Okay, I'll try the 3 plasma grenades setup. Needed to throw the second plasma a bit earlier. Still need to throw this second plasma earlier if I want to do it that way. Just delaying it a bit too long. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why this trick is extremely difficult. Also, there is a death plane right at the bottom of the ramp right there. Yeah. So you have to be very, very careful. So you need to, like, land basically upright. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to have to, okay, we're going to try to improv here. So I need to be very careful with my warthog. So I'm going to shoot a rocket at the back of it. I'm gonna have to shoot another rocket though. I need to basically make it all the way to the top. I think that might be good enough. I just have to hope and see. So we get back in the hog, and we should be good. There we go. We landed the big hard part.
Nice.
But that's not it, because if Dare dies here, then I get reverted all the way back. So that is kind of RNG, but it shouldn't happen unless I'm super, super slow. I was kind of slow here, but I should be fine once I make this first roundabout.
Heads up, rookie! The captain's in trouble!
And I think we're good. We should be good.
Okay, shields are back to full power.
Yep.
Here we go.
But now the rest of this is driving out of bounds, and this is quite a lot faster than just playing this level normally. There are quite a lot of things that we have to do that are very complicated. There's a lot of specific trigger hits. One of them was right there, where you have to get out of your warthog, walk at a certain spot, and walk back in. There's some where you have to go to different positions, and there is one section in particular which is extremely, like, hard to deal with. So you have to be very careful. So right here is one of them we have to hit. You have to get out of the hog and go at a very precise angle. If you don't do the trigger hit correctly, what will happen is you will teleport inside the level because the game doesn't want you to be out here. And that kind of soft locks you. I want to say it soft locks you. So, definitely not worth it to have it happen. So now here we're going to drive the inside portion. The next section, there is one Banshee, and I have to be able to not take any damage at all from it. If I take any health damage, then I have to revert. And good news is we do get a lot of checkpoints on this driving, so it isn't too bad to deal with.
We're good, Trooper. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, like that, for instance, is way too much health lost.
Shields are fully charged. I'm on the move.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as we only take shield damage, we can just fully regenerate that. So we should be good.
What are you saving that extra health for?
We're saving the extra health for this section that is right here. So we're going to get a checkpoint for this Scarab section. I think we didn't get one though. That's bad. Wait. No, it's not this one yet. It's the one after this, I bet. There's this difficult trigger hit, which I got first try. Nice. If I didn't get that, I would have to go all the way back to the Banshees. But yeah, that's a very precise trigger. If you go too fast or too slow or at a bad angle, you will teleport in. So that is not good.
I repeat, shields are down.
That's really unfortunate. I was too slow there. That's one additional portion which is very bad on Legendary about doing Coastal Highway out of bounds like this, is that Dare has a chance to die if you're going too slow. And Dare died there because I was going too slow during this section where I got out of my Warthog. There we go. Yeah, that trick right there is super precise. Okay, this is... What? Why am I stuck? I'm stuck! I'm stuck! Okay, that's fun. Can't believe I actually got stuck there. I think we're going to go a little bit over estimate, by the way, but it should be fine.
Nah,
as long as I don't
totally
get soft locked. There's one potential soft lock that I think could happen, but I don't think it will, unless I am super unlucky.
Heads up, rookie. Captain's in trouble.
Okay, nearly fell off there.
My shields can't take much more of this. I see a Scorpion tank up ahead. We need the extra firepower.
They got the Oliphant?
You're kidding me. Dare is dying for no reason now. That is not good. If Dare dies again, I might just need to insert a checkpoint or something. Because generally if Dare dies, then you have to double revert. I don't really have rockets to double revert from or with. So that is not the best case scenario.
So when he says double revert, you can go back to a checkpoint before your last checkpoint by dying in rapid succession 5 times within the about 5 seconds of your checkpoint. This was implemented because Halo 2 was such a unfair video game. You actually needed it in the base gameplay.
And by the way, that was the teleport inbounds that you saw there. You can see that it is very easy to have happen. You need both of your front wheels to basically touch at the same time. It is probably one of the most difficult parts of this driving right here. So now I'm messing it up. But yeah, it just does happen sometimes. So hopefully this time I can get it. You just have to be slow for that small portion. And here I really can't be slow. You're too slow. You can die.
My shields can't take much more of this.
Okay, please don't die, dear.
I see a Scorpion tank up ahead. We need the extra
Okay,
firepower.
got our checkpoint. So now we're good, because once we get past a certain point, Dare will teleport. And this is the hardest part of this So right here, I'm delaying here to get these Banshees to fly away, and this is why we need full health, because the Banshees can shoot at us here, and will shoot at you, so you have to be very, very careful. You have to come at this at an angle. Also, that is not fun. Dare died again after I did everything basically perfectly. So I think what I'm going to have to do is do reverse triggers here. So I hit my Windows key. It's a mistake.
Shields are holding, but not for long. My shields can't take much more of this.
Rookie, there's the tank. Let's take it.
Yeah, once I hit this trigger, we should be able to get a checkpoint. Checkpoint, please. Maybe I already got it, but I didn't see it. And now we have to climb all the way back up. And we have to go back for the other trigger hit, which is right here. And you have to kind of be quick about it. Like, we can't be slow at any of these portions, otherwise Dare will die. Oh boy. But that's the hardest part done. So now the rest of it is just smooth driving, but if Dare does keep dying at one specific spot, then probably need to, I don't think I even have a checkpoint for it, but I could probably use a rally point if necessary.
Assault carrier, 10 o'clock high.
Oh shoot.
So...
Oh, I didn't get a checkpoint.
No.
That's great. Oh boy. Well, now we have to do this sequence over.
I was going to ask, when the engineer is dying, is that like... Are they fighting an enemy, or is it just like they died to just very random damage?
They died to, like, there's enemies at the bottom that are shooting at Dare constantly, and the way you don't let Dare die is you let Dare pass basically all the enemies. Now I got the checkpoint. I don't know why last time I didn't get the checkpoint.
Yeah, normally this mission's just a giant escort mission. Dare and the engineer are in like a little armored card thing, and you're supposed to like kill all the enemies and not let them take too much damage. But yeah, since we're out of bounds, they just have to survive on their own.
Yeah, this is a pretty unfortunate coastal highway RNG right now. It's a reason why this is one of the toughest tricks in the game. But honestly, it is probably one of the coolest to show off, since it's very different than the rest of, like, the level.
Yeah, even when the driving is finished is... Well, yeah, once you're done with the driving, the mission isn't even over. You still have to do a wave fight.
Yeah, there is one 5-minute wave fight at the end. We're getting very close to it, so it's like 7 minutes from now. Unless I do this again. Why am I doing that again? I am really just failing that fall there. Oh boy. Kind of throwing at the driving, not going to lie. But we'll make it through it. We're getting close to the end. And this is one of the toughest tricks, like I said, in the Halo franchise to speedrun. I don't think that many people know how to do it. I think it's only like 5 or so runners do it, and 3 in full game legendary runs do it. Like, this trick is just brutal on legendary, so... Yeah.
The size of that thing.
Oh no. What is this? Hello? I'm gonna have to get out and just, I have no clue what's going on here. Here we go. What? 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 Wait. I am so confused. What? Did something happen to the rest of the level? What? This has never happened to me before. Like, the level is just cut off. What? This has never happened to me. What? What? It's like... I don't even know anymore. It's just gone. The level's gone. Okay. Well,
Miss a load volume or something?
I mean, the load volume that we hit is right here. Like, right here. You know? Hello? Oh, I know. I skipped the other loading trigger, so I am kind of soft locked here because I can't double revert.
Nice.
Let me go to a rally point. So we're just going to pretend that we did Coastal Highway skip, guys.
Everybody close your eyes.
Nothing happened. I forgot about the load trigger because I hit it the first time around, and then I didn't hit it the second time around. That was my fault. But yeah, this is basically the end of the Coastal Highway skip. We just drive around, like, 2 more things. There's no, like, other big portions of the level. But now it's just kill these guys and continue on with the mission. Okay.
Area secure. Veronica, come to us. We'll cover you.
Had one job. Oh no. It's fine. It is a tough trick. I don't think anyone else would really want to do that trick in a marathon. It is really not marathon friendly. But, you know, it's a fun trick to show off, and I think given this sort of event, it's just really cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think even in a marathon that would be cool to show off it, but you know, with the you know, obviously, like, yeah, just let it rip. Like, go for the hard stuff, and if you mess up, I think I genuinely do think that, like, going for the hard stuff and whiffing it shows people that, like, yeah, speedrunners try really hard stuff and sometimes it doesn't work out, and not everything's like frame perfect every single time.
Yeah.
So it really shows off just the depth of skill that all the runners have worked up to be able to, like, do these runs even.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of practice that goes into some of these tricks, especially this one.
Yeah. Someone commentated, so you're doing this again on Saturday in the relay, right?
You know, I actually am going to be trying it once in the relay. So what happens is I'm trying it once. If I don't get it, I only lose like 20 seconds or something. So that's always nice. But if you do land the skip first try, you save like 3 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes, which is pretty significant.
Perfect.
So if I don't get it, driving through just, you know, is fine on its own. It's like a 20-minute level if you just drive regularly.
He's not on my relay team, so he can go for as much as he likes. Doesn't affect me.
It's true. There are 3 relay teams, by the way. It is, oh shoot. Yeah, red, green, and blue team as tradition. We also generally have a gold team as well, but unfortunately not enough runners for 4 teams. I mean, having 3 teams already is pretty insane. Also, I kind of used all my rocket ammo because I forgot that I don't have additional rockets, so It is going to be kind of awkward for these last few enemies to clear. This is the last wave that spawns in. So they're going to be jumping out right here. Okay, this is bad. I should have just thrown more grenades. Yeah, I'm going to need to throw more grenades here. Yeah, we'll have to improvise here. Quite a lot. Yeah, note to self, make sure to have rockets here. You need 2 rockets to kill these last wave, or at least 1 rocket here.
On the highway.
Otherwise, stuff like that will happen. Oh boy. I should probably get a health pack while I'm at it too. I don't think there's any grenades. If I could get 1 more frag grenade, that would actually be perfect. Okay.
On the highway.
Wow. Okay, this is pretty unfortunate. Oh boy. Gonna think about this. What can I do here? Probably the smart idea will be to play this middle part. I have to really improvise here without rockets, so have to see.
On the highway. That's not
Wow, that is so unlucky. Oh my gosh, that is so unlucky. It's okay. It's literally the last wave. This is the last set of enemies that I need to kill, so once that happens, then time is literally a minute from then, just on a timer. That was just a super unfortunate brute shot from across the map. Oh boy.
on the highway. That's not
Okay. This guy is not being nice to me. Should be good now. Just this last brute that's hiding in these corners. Oh, I have no ammo. I have no ammo for two brutes. Shoot. Improvise! Yeah, the SMG does like no damage to these guys, so this is fun. Here we go.
In the name of Legendary, doing a lot of improv.
Yeah, and there's our allies, and time ends once we get picked up by the Phantom here.
Light him up, boys! Romeo, take the one on the left. I got it. Hold her steady.
We're replacements. And make one hell of a team.
Just nice to know they really do listen. Come on, let's get out of this city.
And that is time.
Go, rookie! At the...
Yay.
Nice.
So that's an hour and 37 minutes on my timer with an extra 15 minutes on Coastal Highway. Don't mind me.
Hey,
but it's fine.
Like I
It's
said,
all good.
it showed off when things go wrong.
Give him some meds.
Yeah. And I did get to showcase like 90% of Coastal Highway skip, which honestly is really cool. So, pretty happy about that overall. And yeah, if you want to see more Halo speedruns, by the way, make sure to tune in to Halo races on Saturday at Saturday 7 a.m. Central Time. If you want to see more Halo speedruns on Legendary of all the Halo games from Reach, CE 2, 3, ODST, 4, 5, and Infinite, we have 24 runners, so it's going to be really great. All like lots of world record holders. It's going to be pretty intense. It's always pretty cool to see. And yeah, if you want to know more about just Halo speedrunning in general, make sure to tune into the Halo Runs website at haloruns.com for all your Halo speedrunning needs. There's a big Discord server as well, which has all the resources that you need. There's tons of tutorials, just everything that you can think of for Halo speedrunning. And yeah, that will be it from me. Thanks, Gelk, for helping me commentate, and Amarilyn for hosting. It's fun to be here for AIMBOTs, and really can't wait to see more Halo on GDQ HotFix and in GDQ events in general. So yeah, hopefully in the future we'll be able to do more of these.
Yeah, for sure. I was saying earlier, I still haven't shown off Halo 1 and 2 on the show, so.
And considering I'm like a main Halo 1 runner, that would be pretty cool for sure to see.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, Kronos, for coming on and showing those two off. I know you've been working on a trilogy run of 3 ODST and what is it, Reach, right?
Yeah, I've been doing that. I also plan on doing all of the MCC games, so that'll be all 6 that are in the Master Chief Collection. That'll be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Unfortunately, Halo 5 is not on PC, so I won't be able to do a full franchise run, but maybe I could do all the Halos that are on PC someday for a run, now that I do know all the games for that, so...
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, everyone go check out Kronos Returns on Twitch if you want to see more Halo runs like that. And so that's all we have for tonight, unfortunately. But a couple quick announcements to close this out. AGDQ 2023 online prize submissions are open from now until December 30th. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more info and check out the marathon that we've got going on January 8th to the 15th. AGDQ 2023 online. Super excited for it. I was one of the games committee members, helped pick that. So a lot of good runs in that. If you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, exclamation point links in Twitch chat, and we'll see you around. We've got Mercy Kill and Never Before Seen tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see y'all then.